When you experience a sports injury, muscle, or joint pain, you want treatment right away. Parkview Ortho Express provides same-day orthopedic and sports injury care without referral or appointment, offering diagnostics, x-rays, the region's only body composition DEXA scan right inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Walk in Monday through Thursday, 7 to 7, Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. For more information, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com/orthoexpress.
It's the comets.
Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
This is the first time I've been able to do this kind of more complete understanding or view of your body. One of the things that's really important about this is that it's kind of legitimizing us as athletes.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on. Concussions. They're a concern for parents of athletes in any sport. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine is leading the way with the area's first concussion clinic. Our integrated sports medicine team utilizes an innovative, evidence-based approach to manage athletic-related head injuries in those 14 and older, providing comprehensive care to get the athlete you love safely back in play. To schedule an appointment, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 266-4007. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ants in action. Get mad about blue.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education, but also the experience.
Parkview Sports Medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code SummitCity for 15% off today.
Both runners are running, play coming home.
From the crucial plays to the highlight of the game to the victory celebration, we are there. Summit City Sports isn't just a business, it's a group of companies investing in the youth of Fort Wayne athletics. It's because of Parkview Sports Medicine, because of Kelly Automotive Group, Indiana Wesleyan University, University of St. Francis, and Big Eye Fish, that we can produce our broadcast viewed by hundreds of thousands in Northeast Indiana.
Support Summit City Sports. Become a sponsor. Join our winning team today. Welcome in, everybody, to the 2019 Middle School All-Star Boys Classic. Here we got 2 games for you. In between, we'll have a skills competition and the 3-point contest. So how did we get there? Well, the very first game we did here of the MVP Classic was back on February the 28th. It was St. Paul winning it 58-47 over Norwell. We thought those 2 teams would match up for the championship, and they did. In the Final Four, St. Paul beat Woodside 65-48. Great performances there by Darion Brooks, and for Woodside is Mr. Goody. And then in game number 2 was Norwell beating Anderson. That's right, Anderson out of Anderson, Indiana, 58-47 in the championship game. Norwell got revenge and came back to beat St. Paul 50-48 in that Final Four Classic showdown. Joining us here is Zach Welkland and Tim Atkinson in the booth. Tim, Fort Wayne, Indiana basketball season really never ends.
No, it doesn't. This city of Fort Wayne, the state of Indiana, we're known for the basketball, and there is none better than this right here, an MVP basketball put on by Mitch Sturm, doing the All-Star middle school games right here. And I'm telling you what, the talent that we have in the 7th and 8th grade, and we can go farther than that, as Zach could speak on, but we are absolutely loaded from our sophomore classes really on down into middle school and elementary school. So there's no sleep for these kids. They're AAU players. This has got to be during the week so they can get their AAU stuff still in on the weekend. So this is an exciting event. I know the kids love to play in it, and we have dynamite talent.
Zach, and like Tim said, some of these guys are playing AAU ball on the weekends, traveling all over the place. We know that with the Norwell squad. They took their whole team was playing Spice Indy Heat. But once again, what a collection of talent we're going to see on display here.
Oh, it's going to be exciting, and you're going to see all types of players that come from all different types of systems. You're going to see a lot of different styles of basketball because a lot of these kids come from various different backgrounds. I love how it's a collection of private school and public school kids mixed in.
Yeah.
So some of these kids that don't get to see each other as often are going to get a chance to square off and kind of, prove what they got, because sometimes those smaller schools that don't play on a bigger circuit or play the bigger teams, they get kind of slept on. And I don't care where you go to school, every kid wants to prove themselves. So you're going to see a lot of competitiveness. And again, I know this is the coach of me, but hopefully we'll see some defense.
There's no question about that, Zach. Yeah, just briefly summarize, as Zach said, the private and the public schools getting to play each other. Really the only other thing has been the MVP tournament, the March Madness stuff. So it's been outstanding to see just the different styles, the different parts of the city and where certain things come from. And it's real interesting to see, especially when these kids get out here and playing on the same team together, how they all have to mesh, and that comes key. But I mean, wait till you hear some of these last names. You're going to recognize them from some of the athletic conference basketball here in the city of Fort Wayne and around the surrounding area. The names are galore, as you'll start hearing throughout the broadcast.
Yeah, and the first name that comes to mind, Tim, is Darion Brooks. He's an MVP in pretty much every single game that he played in the MVP March Madness. And obviously his squad, St. Paul, went on to win another national championship following in the footsteps of his brother Keon Brooks Jr.
Yeah.
So once a name, that's one of the big names that you're going to notice today.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And the thing with Mr. Brooks is, of course, we all know his older brother Keon Jr. just committed a couple weeks ago to play for Coach Cal there in Kentucky, which obviously made this city very, very proud, no doubt about it, as Keon went to La Lumiere for his senior year. But Darion is a tremendous basketball player. He really has that grittiness, Zach, that coaches love to have, and the kid just won't back down from anyone.
Oh, the kid is blessed. He has one of the things that are uncontrollable, great genetics.
Yes.
And you combine that with a high skill set, high motor, very competitive. I mean, it makes it tough. But not to get off of him, let's give a shout-out to the Boys and Girls Club, Joe Jordan, Mitch Sturm with MVP basketball. I mean, what a great platform. I know I graduated in class of 2010. We had a lot of cool things, but we didn't have something like this. And kids love this. They eat this up. It's fun. You get a little bragging rights. But like I said earlier, they get a chance to go against guys that they might not play. All they do is talk, and, you hear a little of the trash talk during the AAU circuits, but now they get to go out and have some fun.
And that's 100%, Zach. When we were growing up, a lot of times you had to do your trash talking on the playground out in the parks because St. Charles wasn't playing Lane or Blackhawk, and this is an event that brings all that together.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, in Game 1, we're going to have the Boys and Girls Club Jammers. They're going to be coached by Fred Hodson. He's known as the Shot Doctor, a former star player at Indiana Wesleyan University and former coach at IWU. He now travels around the country training players. Mike Wallace is also a coach. He represents the Fort Wayne Community Schools, a longtime coach in Fort Wayne and former Northside star player. And then one of Mitch's former players, Mitch Sturm, who puts on this event at Bishop Luers and Northside. He was a first-team All-American at Central State University out of Cleveland and is getting ready to play professionally overseas. It's Dwight Richards. For the MVP basketball Slammers, they'll be coached by Luke Cummings, University of St. Francis, assistant coach, and he's a co-head coach of the team, has led the Cougars to 3 national championship games. Chief Deputy Gary Hamilton will also be a coach. He leads the Fort Wayne Police Department Community Relations Division and actively works to help all Fort Wayne's young people to be successful. Here's a name you guys will remember. It's Caleb First, one of the top-rated high school players in the country, a great kid on and off the court, and a recent state champion. And Kyle Ellsworth will be the final coach, a former star player at Madison Grant and Earlham College, a top area youth basketball coach. Tim Caleb First, can't say enough about the sophomore year. He had a Blackhawk guiding his team to a first ever state championship.
Yeah, that's one of the names that you'll see a younger brother of here in this tournament, along with a couple of other state title winners and Zane Burke's little brother. I think we have a younger Davidson on the as head coach Mark Davidson has about 57 sons that all play basketball. So, I mean, outstanding stuff for the state champion. They are absolutely loaded. I think they're going to be tremendous next year. But Caleb First, he's one of those once-in-a-generational type of players with his size. He's a lefty. He loves to play in the post. He's a legit 6'10", and the kid loves basketball. He absolutely loves basketball, and he's got a great mentor and coach, and head coach Mark Davidson.
Absolutely, and he's got a great frame to him as well. Not many sophomores are put together the way Caleb First. He's tall, but he's bulky too, Tim.
Yeah, he's extremely strong for a sophomore, and he played so well off the inside out with Frankie Davidson in their state title win. Finally Fort Wayne got a state title. It's been several years, handful of years, I should say. I think since Swanigan and Homestead was our last one.
Yep.
So it's been a while, so it was outstanding to see the 1A team of Blackhawk Christian, after being a favorite last year, really came through this year, and really no one even came close to the Braves of Blackhawk Christian.
Yeah, and his Homestead, I think, in the regular season, the only team that in our area that was able to get a piece of them, but obviously what a great season Homestead had. Second best ever regular season record for Coach Johnson and the Spartans.
Yeah, and that leads you right into Caleb First's best friend and also sophomore. He's at Homestead, and Luke Goody. Both of them offered by Iowa and a couple other programs, but Luke Goody and Caleb First are the best of buddies. Who was the first one? Congratulated Caleb First after the semi-state win, which I was able to get a picture of and throw that out there. It just gives you some love on how much these kids grow together and be competitive to show who each other is going to get the best scholarship. It's all about scholarships here in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Boy, feeding off each other's talents, they certainly are. And then this week we heard of another little shakeup in the Summit Athletic Conference where head coach Aaron Rare had decided to step down from Wayne. So that's going to leave a new coaching position open in the SAC. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of coaches that are looking to get into this conference to coach.
No question. I think a big factor with Coach Rare stepping down was, he's got a young family. And anyone that knows anything about coaching, it's all in. It's all or nothing. That's your life. If you have any competitiveness in your body, you're going to do everything possible to pour yourself into that program. He did a great job for 9 years, especially stepping in as a young guy. I can't remember exactly how old he was when he started, but he
was
18, I think. He was young. He's starting to look a little older now. I don't know if that was from the coaching or what, but He did a great job, and the thing about Coach Rare is he ran a great program. He did it the right way. You know, his kids were always respectful, and if they weren't, he handled it. His kids respected him. A lot of my kids that I teach at Maplewood feed into him, so they have a lot of respect for him. So, you know, Wayne's a school where it's got potential. You could do a lot with it, but you got to be the right guy. You got to be the right fit. You got to understand the clientele, and you got to be willing to be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. And I think if you get the right guy in there, you could do something special. I'm not sure the last time they won a sectional, but you know, that's where you start. That's your
goal. The Mitchells, maybe.
Yeah.
Back with the Mitchells are playing. Yeah, that's a great statement. I mean, it is open out there. I mean, of course, they're graduating a ton this year. But speaking on Coach Rare and doing it the right way, you could just look at the players he's put into college to play basketball. I mean, I would say there's 4 out of his 5 players I think are committed somewhere, and that's including Craig Young, who's playing football at Ohio State. So, I mean, he's having some stay here in town, some are going outside of the city. So Coach Rare's done a phenomenal job, and I know he'll be missed there in SAC.
Yeah, Justin Mitchell had a nice career over at Wayne
Wright State.
Yep. And then Levi Mitchell played over at Park University out of, is it Missouri, I believe? But absolutely just continuing that trend that was started by their father, who was a great basketball coach in his own right.
Yeah, and it's Justin Mitchell. He came back in for the pro-am that we had put on by VJ Beecham and Rod Wilmot out of Notre Dame and Indiana University, respectively, put on the pro-am. Justin Mitchell had a chance to showcase more of his skills on film, and he is absolutely having an outstanding year overseas as he went right out overseas after that program to start his professional career.
Yeah, the great thing about Justin Mitchell, as we always talk about, Tim, was his defense.
Oh, yeah.
And his ability to kind of be a problem for those taller shooters.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They were a nasty bunch there at Wayne his senior year. I think the younger one moved up to be with the 2 older in the same grade, but Justin Mitchell was definitely the standout on that team, and you could see it at Wright State. Left there, but is outstanding, putting himself in position to make a career out of basketball. And what else could you ask for? Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, and going back to the March Madness we had here with MVP basketball, there were certain teams like Blackhawk and St. Charles that were just stuffed with a bunch of football studs. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun to watch on the floor. These kids are tough, but when it came down to it, it was the endurance of that St. Paul team and the depth. They were able to run with Blackhawk. They were able to fend off Norwell the first time. Obviously, that Norwell team, pretty dang special with the fact that those boys have been playing together for a long time now. And it's not just basketball. Once again, it's baseball in the summer. It is football in the fall, but you sprinkle basketball in with baseball and football.
Oh, yeah. And it doesn't matter what school you're at, whether you're at a Warren Central or, a tiny county school, there's always that class or that group where you're looking forward to them. They've been studs. They've dominated since a young age. But, a school like Norwell, they're going to appreciate it extra just with a smaller enrollment. And not only is this group, athletic, but they're very skilled. They're smart. They've played together. They're unselfish. They just have everything you would need. They got a coach's son who, from what I've heard from everyone, that kid is in the gym all night. He's practicing with the high school guys. I mean, they just have everything you want. They got big bodies. Now, going back to St. Paul with what you said, they have long guards, so not only are they long with Darion Brooks, their guards can rebound. That's going to wear you down, and your typical middle school team is not going to be that deep. And when it comes to the end of the game, that's the differential.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree. Well, heading into this All-Star Classic here, it's kind of the best of the best, so it's not going to be kind of a mano-a-mano thing. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of scoring like we saw with the Jordan Brand game and Keon Brooks doing great work there in the 14 minutes that he played.
Oh, yeah. The alley-oop off the glass. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I think it was Maxey that threw it to him, but off the glass, Maxey was on the wing, and Keon went right down the lane and thunder dunked it with 2 hands. It was tremendous.
I got to love it, too. The tweet that John Calipari had, he just said, Keon Brooks has gotten strong this past year. That's one of the things that they really like about him. His versatility, being able to play really any position on the floor, and now the strength that he brings.
And think about the guy he went against in practice every day. I cannot think of his name.
Isaiah Stewart.
He's ranked in the top 10 in the country.
He's committed to Washington.
He's got about 40 pounds on him, 3 inches.
Yep.
When you're battling with that every day, and even your best local high schools, you're just not getting that. So he got pushed every day, and there's no question he had some improvements.
Yeah, and La Lumiere, I think there was only one loss on the whole season. That was in the championship game against, I don't know if it was it might have been IG.
It was
IMG in Florida. Yeah. Because they beat Oak Hill.
Who started 3 McDonald's All-Americans.
Right. I mean, it's insane, the talent. You know, of course, it worked for Darion Brooks Jr. To leave local high school and go to a prep school. That's not going to work for everybody, but boy, did that pan out for him and his family. The kid just blew up over his senior year there at La Lumiere, being a Laker. But he's just one of the many players that have come out of this city that have put themselves in position to be one and dones, to be four-year players, to be overseas players, to be NBA players. That's no joke. It's coming from all the hard work that they do and the surrounding cast of all the coaches, the youth coaches like Zach, the AAU coaches, the high school coaches. None of all that would be possible without a collective, and that's what I appreciate so much about Fort Wayne.
Yeah, and obviously Mitch Sturm doing good work here at Spiece now as they're really revitalizing this place and trying to bring it back to life of the glory days. I know the Bill Hensley Run and Slam tournament coming up here in a little bit brings some of the best ballers. I think LeBron James' son was here 2 years ago.
Yes, he was actually, and that drew a huge crowd. But it was really cool because LeBron was humble enough to come and watch, and he had his little security, but he was willing to talk with people, and I think it's just fun for the kids. Even if Bronny doesn't end up as good as LeBron, I mean, you could say you got to play against LeBron James' son. But Speaking on Spiece and this great facility, there's signs of it getting old, but I think people have this in their heart. They want to see it improve. They want to see it stay updated. This place isn't going anywhere, and there's so many people in our community that are helping to keep this restored that with Sport One, Turnstone, all the amazing facilities. I mean, Fort Wayne has better facilities than most metropolises with over 1 million people. I don't think people realize how lucky we are and blessed we are to have what we have.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And then all the extra, just the extra hours and everything that have been put in, and that comes with availability with gyms. So you got to be able to get in the gym and on the hardwood and get your shots up and get your work in. And I'm telling you what, there'll be about anybody. All you got to do is contact them and let them know you need some gym time. They cost you, but you definitely have the opportunity here in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, and how great just not that long ago, I think it was about 10 days ago, Joe Jordan and the Boys and Girls Club opening the brand new facility right over there by the old Lutheran Hospital off Fairfield. But that too is going to provide a lot of opportunities, and what do you know, there's another gym inside that facility as well. Going to be really neat to see what he's able to do with the new facility and the program starting up there at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, same thing with Benny Lewis there at McMillan Park and what he did there. Running the Fort Wayne Flight, CBA champions, head coached by Rod Wilmot. But I mean, we could go on and on. I saw Greg Patterson over here, Coach Jay, Coach Jordan. Happy birthday, of course, to Greg Patterson. But those are just two of two of many. Zach, another one that put so much work into our youth, and you can see it coming to fruition each and every year because the talent it keeps growing. It keeps growing. It keeps getting better, and that's tremendous. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, there's been a long legacy, that's for sure, of just great basketball players in this area. You can look at when we played, Tim, Darion Brooks Sr. was the man over there at Northside. So, once again, going to be fun to see how everything unveils. Some people said it was a down year in the SAC. I know we had a lot of fun covering Northrop and their sectional title with big Sidney Curry there in the paint.
Yeah.
Homestead got knocked out there in the first game of sectionals, but their regular season was a lot of fun to watch, and obviously what Blackhawk Christian did was second to none. They're going to move up a class next year. Yeah,
they'll be in 2A. They'll still be my favorite in 2A. You might even put them in 3A, and I might still have them as my favorite. There's been some movement with the classifications, but as far as basketball is concerned, Blackhawk Christian, they only need to worry about themselves. They don't need to worry about what class they're in, who they're playing. well, number one, they know they're going to be playing the best competition in Fort Wayne because head coach Mark Davidson will play all 10 SAC teams if they let him. Last year, I think he had 8 of the 10, and only one of his 2 defeats was against that Homestead team. That was at Homestead. We had that from SummitCitySports.com. But, yeah, I mean, this event that leads into the top players in the SAC, there's no coincidence. You can look back, you can hit their website and check it out. I mean, going back a couple of years ago, Dylan Duff was an MVP. He's an all-SAC player as a junior at Snyder. Keon Brooks. You had Nayland Thompson, Zane Burke. The list goes on and on that played in this MVP tournament and the All-Stars and have just blossomed as they've gone to the SAC and their respective schools in Fort Wayne and the surrounding area.
Yeah, and we had Nayland's younger brother. He was an MVP. I believe it was the second game that we covered here at the MVP Classic. Nick Thompson from St. Paul, the point guard. Boy, him and Darion Brooks sure do work together, along with Good, the shorter shooting guard. Yeah. They can light it up.
I would assume as well that Nick would be going to play with his brother at Lures. Yeah, I mean,
that's what he said.
With Nayland. So, I mean, that just gets them better. Causey will be back. Coach Fonzo Smith, I really like what he's doing there at Lures. I think that he'll get them right back where they're used to be since Deshaun Thomas days.
Boy, those are some exciting days, that's for sure. You know, one of the names that I saw on there as a celebrity coach was Jason Jordan, who graduated from Northrop. Tim, you'll remember when we first started doing games, he was a senior at Northrop. I think Bryson and Brenton were maybe sophomores. Yeah. Blackman was a part of the Lures squad back in those days. But
yeah, that was another MVP, Jalen Blackman, who, of course, is at Marion. He was an MVP of MVP basketball.
Yeah, and another one that I saw was Michael Ely, the shooting guard over at Snyder.
Yeah, so he was the three-point shooting champ his 8th grade year.
Boy, imagine that one.
That's insane.
We are in between. We are going to get a chance to look at the skills competition, so the best of the best, they're figuring that out right now on court number 2. And then the three-point competition, that as well, they're doing the preliminaries over there on court number 2, and that'll be at the conclusion of game number 1. So once again, probably, 15, 20 minutes away from the start of game number 1. We'll go over the rosters with you. For the Slammers, you have Evan Burke, Colin Butler, Jimmy Davidson, Earl Fuller, Josh First, Dakota Hitzman, Tusi Jackson, Trent Jesenowski.
That sounds great to me, Jeff.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a clarification on that. James Mallory, Jamin McCain Townsend, Tayden Metzger, Micah McClure, Max Morman, Max Robinson, Ryan Tester, Eric Troutman, Trell White, and Owen Winters, and that is for the Slammers. And once again, the Slammers coaches will be Luke Cummings, Chief Deputy Gary Hamilton, and Caleb First for your Slammers. And for the Jammers, we got Spencer Adams, Sam Campbell, Dylan Fuller, Gray Hepner, Victor Hoya. Victor Hoya is from Blackhawk. Need to double yeah, that was right. It was spelled wrong the first time in the roster. So Devin Lewis, Eli Maddox, Jalen Murphy, RJ Nunn, Mason Posey, Race Price, Cam Quinlan, Preston Ross, Ethan Roy, Charlie Rudolph, Gage Sefton, Braden Thomas, Alex Troutman, and a Johnny Washington. Wow, a lot of players Mitch was able to get around here. And your coaches, once again, for the Jammers, Fred Hodson, Mike Wallace, and Dwight Richards, who just finished up a fantastic career at Central State University.
Well, Jeff, this MVP basketball does have a little bit of rule variety here. Let's go through it here in just a couple of minutes. All games will consist of 2 halves, 25-minute halves, long with a stop clock on all official whistles. Clock will occasionally stop every 5 minutes for initial mandatory substitutions, but play will continue until the next ball. That is to make sure that everybody is getting equal amount of playing time here in this All-Star Showcase. All overtime periods will be 2 minutes long. Halftime will just be a short 5 minutes. All non-shooting fouls will be taken out of bounds except in the last minute of each half. A 1-and-1 will be shot regardless of team foul count. There is no double bonus. As Mitch Sturm says, you got to make free throws to win games. No alternating possession rule, so every jump ball will be thrown up. That's my favorite rule of all time, and these kids really enjoy it. It keeps the pace of the game going, I think. Team calling the timeout may advance the ball to midcourt, so NBA rule there, so pay attention to that. All boys games will be played with the official Spalding Composite Leather ABA game ball, and of course, in all MVP basketball events, all dunks are worth 3 points.
Yeah, we almost saw a few in the March Madness. One of them by Goody just came up a little bit short, but be fun to see that today, that's for sure.
Also for tonight, the game officials for Game 1, Jeff, is going to be John Pfeiffer, Ronnie Branch, and Bill Forehand. Of course, the DJ services, DJ Fast, Eddie. Official timer is Davon Wright. Official scorer, Rick Foster. In-game announcers are Marvin Patterson and, of course, Mitch Sturm. Game day directors, Ron Latham and Marcus Hassel. Boys and Girl Club president and CEO, Joe Jordan, which, of course, none of this would be possible without him, and program founder and director of MVP Basketball, Mitch Sturm. Their combination has given these athletes a more opportunity to showcase their skills.
You know, Tim, you read off all those rules there. By far the most popular has got to be the jump ball there.
Yeah,
no alternating possessions.
Yeah, I know there's not a lot of traditional basketball fans that like that idea, but to me, I love it. You don't punish the defense, on a possession arrow of shutting the team down, especially with no shot clock in the state of Indiana. That's another topic that we could brush on, but no shot clock in the state of Indiana. I would prefer the jump ball. I mean, you get a tie-up, say 60 seconds in the end of a possession, you tie it up, and the possession arrow has to be the offense. How's that even fair? But I mean, that's just part of the way it is. If I had to choose between that or shot clock, I'd put shot clock in the second.
Well, once again, you look at the size of these young kids here. Majority of them, I'm assuming all of them, going into high school. I know we saw some 7th graders earlier on in the MVP
March
Madness tourney. But obviously some good-looking kids here. Gets you excited for the season to start all back over again.
This is the age where you're going to see some of the kids that still have not hit puberty.
Right.
And most of the time those kids in an all-star game are very highly skilled.
Right.
And you can see the kids that are already looking a little older than us, fully grown. Now, the typical thing that I always notice at this age is you see kids that have kind of capped out, and they might not have the best skills. They're very physically dominant. This is the period where they either are going to step up their game if they don't grow anymore, or they're going to get passed up. And sometimes those kids that are small but very skilled, all of a sudden they sprout up, and they're the ones that pass up those big kids that were the middle school bullies, and all of a sudden you stop seeing them. It's very common, and I just really try to stress to these kids, regardless of how athletic you are, regardless of how big you are, work on your skills, because skill development sometimes gets a little bit put on the back burner because we love games and we love the showcase, but we can't forget how we get that attention. It's that skill work.
But a shooter's a shooter.
No
how
question.
much does a coach love the mid-range jumper or the three-point shot?
Let's go back to just a couple of years ago. Ashton Ellsworth, I remember, who's at Blackhawk Christian now, he'll get some run in varsity next year. That's another one. He's a shorter kid, absolute dynamite knockdown shooter. And even if he doesn't grow, his skill set is so high and his shooting ability is so high, he's going to be on a varsity roster.
And sometimes there's just the no-brainers, like when we covered Jalen Blackman and Caleb First in this exact same MVP tourney. I think it was 2 years ago. Tim, they were throwing alley-oops to each other in the 8th grade.
Yeah, I mean, when you got Jalen Blackman, point guard, and Caleb First is running the floor as a power forward, and Blackman in 8th grade throws one off the glass to running Caleb First, who just throws it down. I mean, it was tremendous to see. You don't see it that often at this age, especially if you're not at an AAU game or a high-level AAU game. In general, you don't see that sort of thing. It's more of, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's traditional basketball. It's technical basketball. It's not a lot of above the rim type play.
You know, we talked about the dominating I guess, spring that St. Paul had. And Zach, like you said, not every single one of those kids are going to end up at Concordia, the high school Lutheran school in the area. But you know what? When we covered Woodside, yeah, I think all those kids are going to Homestead. It's just kind of crazy how that kind of works. We talked about it. We could have one of those hat showcases today or whatever where the kids pull out a Dwenger hat and I'm going to Dwenger or I'm going to Snyder, because it is kind of like that.
It is, and you know what? With school choice, vouchers, the open enrollment, I know it can be very frustrating for high school coaches because the feeder system, in a sense, has died off. You still get some, or you get the families that are loyal to the schools that they grew up to, but it's really tough because as a high school coach, you don't really know who's coming, and if you just expect and rely your kids in your middle school to come, there's probably some coach talking to them or someone with an agenda in their ear making them go somewhere, and sometimes that's family, and it's tough on these kids because they feel torn, and anymore it's the Wild West out here, and it's not just basketball, it's football.
Oh yeah, no, we've got a sense of that, and really seems like you got to start off by building up a program that comes from team managers to the dad that wants to film practice for you to the mom that's making pregame meals. I mean, it's all very important.
Shout out to the moms that make pregame meals, because without you, it would be a long season.
Zach would be about 20 pounds lighter too, probably.
Well, it looks like we're about to get going here. We'll send it over to our PA announcer, Mitch Sturm, also over there at the game table. He's going to be doing a little bit of in-game announcing. Tim, I know we had that list somewhere. There we go. Ron Latham, Marcus Hassel. Those are the game day directors. In-game announcers, Marvin Patterson and Mitch Sturm. In a matter of seconds here, we will get going. But, yeah, Zach, when we covered the Blackhawk team, you had said, 3 or 4 kids there that are going to be playing football for Coach Kurt Tittman. And you really don't expect that to change much. Lane Blackhawk always been solid feeding into that program, which is arguably the most popular in the area.
Oh, no question. And both teams were in the city championship. So, I mean, when you have both feeders in the city championship, you're not upset. And obviously St. Charles is always very dominant in football, and Dwenger's never mad about that. So, you have certain programs that are known to be successful in certain sports, and then they just have that tradition. So people gravitate towards that for a specific sport. So obviously with Snyder, you have a lot of people that will move into that district for football. Or, for example, if you have a star player like Deshaun Thomas, a lot of people are going to want to go to Lures because they want their kid to have that exposure. It's nothing new, and it only adds to the competitive fuel, and I don't care what school you're at. Everyone wants to be the best. So when you have competitive coaches, sometimes it gets a little crazy.
Let's send it down to our announcer now for the lineups and rosters for today's All-Star Classic.
Future college stars as well as a few pros in this bunch. If you're interested in the treat tonight.
That's actually our DJ over there.
All right, everybody, welcome.
Here's Mitch.
Thank you for waiting for our delays when we got everything set up. I want to congratulate all these kids for being chosen to participate. That says a lot about both their character and their work ethics to be able to make it through the season, have their coaches nominate them, and be able to come here and participate. I'm Mitch Sturm, and I want to thank my buddy Joe Jordan of the Boys and Girls Club. Together, MVP Basketball, the Boys and Girls Club partner to try to bring the most comprehensive and unique program to Fort Wayne. In case anybody didn't know, this week was the ribbon cutting for the brand new Boys and Girls Club building. You need to check it out. They talk about, they say the normal sayings, safe place for kids, a positive place for kids. Forget all that. This place is the place for kids with all of the activities, all the programs. It's amazing what's all going to be going on there. So get your kids down there, let them check it out. It's just amazing. So anyway, we want to get to the introductions of all the players. Let's make a lot of noise for these guys tonight. First, for the Boys and Girls Club Jammers, their head coach, Freddie Hodson. Freddie he was a star player at Indiana Wesleyan. He was also a coach at Indiana Wesleyan, and he travels all around the country. He's known as the shot doctor. He's worked with many a player, helping improve their abilities. Our next coach is one of the best players in Ball State history. A lot of you see him reffing on a regular basis around here. Charles Smith. And our last celebrity coach, one of my all-time favorites, played for me at Moores, played for me at Northside, went on to State University, played for former Marion Giant and Notre Dame star Joseph Price, where he earned first-team All-American honors. He'll be going overseas, starting his professional career in the fall. Let's hear it for Dwight Church. Now our players. First, number 26, Sam Campbell. Number 9, Dylan Fuller, the shooter. Number 38, Victor Hoya. Victor was the MVP of one of our games of the week this year. Next, from Canterbury, we have number 0, Devin Lewis. 3-point specialist, number 16, Eli Maddox. The rebounder, number 55, Jalen Murphy. A teammate of his, number 25, R.J. Nunn. From Leo, number 23, Mason Posey. Next guy, our speedy little guy, number 20, Race Price. Next, number 36, Cam Quinlan. Number 47, Preston Ross. Number 28, Charlie Rudolph. Number 47, Gage Sexton. Kids. Number 29, Alex Trotman. And we're missing a name on a roster. Hang on. Gotta get him in the scores book.
One of the kids they're missing is my first
Next,
cousin,
number 13,
Ethan Roy.
Ethan Roy.
Man.
He just got a little bit more shine right there.
Shout out to Ethan Roy. That's family right there. Future Dwenger Saint.
Now for the MVP Slammers. First, head coach from St. Francis, Luke Haynes. A former star at Madison Grant and Earlham College, Kyle Ellsworth. And a recent state champion. Let's hear it for Caleb First. Now for our players. Speedy number 2, Evan Burke. Number 45, Colin Butler. Number 47, Jimmy Davidson. Number 16, Earl Fuller. Number 39, Josh First. Number 13, Dakota Heitzman. Number 24, Tusi Jackson. Number 34, Trent Jesenowski. The big guy, number 25, James Mallory. Number 4, the point guard, Micah McClure. Number 7, Max Morton. I didn't forget you, Max. Number 46, Max Robinson. Number 21, Ryan Tester. Number 10, Eric Troutman. And number 12, Owen Winters. Now, if everyone could please quick stand up for their national anthem, and then it's game time. Have fun, everybody.
And it's most definitely going to be a good time here at the Spies Fieldhouse, getting ready for the MVP Basketball Boys All-Star Classic. This is game number 1, skills competition and three-point contest going to be happening in between games 1 and 2. We have your MVP Jammers taking on the Boys and Girls Club Slammers.
Game officials again, John Pfeiffer, Ronnie Branch, and Bill Forehand. This is going to be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Sit tight. You're about to see some high-level basketball in the middle school level right here in the city of Fort Wayne.
John Pfeiffer and Ronnie Branch. Play ball, fellas.
So at 7:30, they're planning the awards presentation. I'm assuming that's going to get pushed back here probably about 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Juices are flowing. Guys are excited. Might be a few turnovers at the beginning, but look for after a few possessions for them to get loose and get settled.
Yeah, looks like the black team over here, which is the Jammers, going to come out with some size. They'll bring to the floor number 55, the big rebounder, Jalen Murphy.
And the Fort Wayne chapter of Black Expo is a major.
That was Eric Troutman in white that just came over to the table.
Thank you to them as well.
I want to make sure we get our cords out the way. So White's going to take the tip, and that's the Slammers three-pointer on its way just off the mark. That's Jamin McCain Townsend.
What do you know? Davidson comes up with an offensive rebound to start the game and put back, and he's going to get fouled right away to go to the line.
Well, Tim, I got to say the apple does not fall too far from the tree because this kid can flat shoot it.
There is no doubt about that. His older brother, Frankie Davidson, had an outstanding, in my opinion, him and Sidney Curry were the two best players in the city of Fort Wayne as seniors this year. Pretty much it's all about preference, who you're picking on which one of those kids. But just an outstanding season by Frankie Davidson.
So Frankie's going to hit the second of two, 1-0 for the White squad. And now a rebound. Pushing it up the floor is number 25 for the Jammers. Off glass, it's good for R.J. Nunn. Excuse me, that's James Mallory for the White squad.
And the white squad right now, it's looking like we have a little bit of a matchup confusion, which is pretty typical at the beginning of a game when you're dealing with young kids. It doesn't matter if it's upward basketball or high school. It seems like there's always one guy that doesn't know who he's guarding. You got to communicate, fellas. Talk.
That was Eli Maddox, three-pointer just off the mark for the black squad. Now on the dribble in white, it's number 10, Eric Troutman.
Yeah, Troutman, you can see he's got a lot of shake in his dribble. He's got good size, too, for a guard, and that handle looked nice, finding an open man down low, leading to the foul.
A lot of moxie on the floor, too, man. He's just walked out here kind of owning it.
Well, it looks like they got a jump ball on that.
You can tell a lot about a player's body language, and like you said, he just has that confidence. He looks calm, cool, and collected. No doubt he's ready for this game.
So in white, number 25, that was James Mallory, but coming up with it's number 26 in black, Sam Campbell.
He was a little strong on that take, but there is no question he does not lack aggression. And like I said, he's one of those St. Charles guys that is clearly a football guy, and he is tough.
Yeah, he went right at the rim on that first chance he had. Nearly got a foul picked up on him, but just high. Get them nerves shuttled down.
So the black team once again pushing it. That's their three-point shooter, number 16, Maddox. It's already 0 for 1 from beyond the arc. Picking up the loose balls, number 30.
That was Jamin McCain-Townsend. It hustled back on defense. He didn't sit and watch. He hustled back, and that led to a steal.
Now handling the rock on the far side, number 26, Sam Campbell, once again from St. Charles. Maddox finds Campbell in the corner. Davidson with the defense there. Looks like Davidson's got about 3 inches of height on him.
That was first.
Both teams earlier are looking to feed the post, which is always encouraging. Trying to open it up for the shooters.
So just 3-0 here. Just 2 minutes into this game. It's a warm one here at the field house. Nice to have the sun back out in Fort Wayne. Feed down low, triple teamed. Bucket's no good by number 25, Mallory. He's been active in this game. Pushing it for the black squad, number 29. He was met in the air. That's Troutman. Maddox now feeds it in the block. Strong take, and he's going to be fouled from behind. That's Preston Ross.
One thing you notice a lot in all-star games, it doesn't matter, again, at the level of play, whether they're young or old, a lot of times you see a lot of standing and staring at the ball. Both teams have been moving around. They're active. They're cutting. They may not have an offense, but they're at least moving and being active. Nothing is easier than on defense than guarding someone who just stands and watches. And both teams have guards that can penetrate, so you're going to have to be ready in held position.
Yeah, right now it's been at will as Troutman's been going for the white team, getting into the paint with ease, and he's been finding Mallory. Mallory just hasn't been able to connect yet, and there he is, Troutman for 3.
Just left a little bit short, and on the other end, Ross hit his second free throw, so 3-1 is your score. Good jump stop in the lane. Picking up the loose ball. Once again, another strong take.
I really like this kid early. Oh, my goodness, Troutman. Good hands. And you'll see that in this game. They'll let them play. The officials will let these athletes play a little bit more than what you would see in a more of a structured game. This is an all-star event, so you will see some contact not being called.
That's Troutman on the ball, looking for the step back. Little jersey pull right there. Boy, these kids, it may be an all-star game, but they want it. Chance to showcase their talent. Three-pointer is good. Nothing but the bottom of the net for number 47, Jimmy Davidson.
Davidson, you see it right there. I mean, that top of the key with the Davidson shooting the rock, you've seen it for the past 6 years at Blackhawk Christian. Right there's another one.
Maddox.
Pick and roll.
Feed goes down low. Another strong take to the cup.
A unique challenge, too, to an all-star game is you don't really know how everyone plays. Now, thankfully, the AAU circuit, these guys play with each other. They know each other, but it's still different than playing on your school team and knowing guys, how they play, how they move. It's a little awkward at first in an all-star game.
So Ross cannot convert the three-point play, but it's like you said, Zach, these guys have come out looking to run and looking to get involved. They're not starstruck here on this all-star stage.
No, not at all.
Looks like we'll stay at that end, out of bounds. We'll stay with the Jammers.
Both teams doing an excellent job getting back on defense. I love it.
A little stack play here on the inbounds, a little coaching in the pregame. I like it.
That was Troutman with the kick out as the three-pointer is good by Race Price.
Tied up at 6s.
Troutman once again on the ball for the white squad. They are the Slammers.
Great job of fronting the post there on the defense. First was looking for it. My guy number 29 was battling him hard.
Yeah, the skip pass was nearly intercepted there.
That was Sam Campbell reading that pass nicely and breaking it up.
So it looks like we're going to have our first substitution. Townsend. Now looks like the white team looking to get some passing, to get some separation for some shots. Nice strong take. Jump shot in the lane. Fighting through the contact there was number 39, Josh First.
And he never looked for a foul. He was assuming he was going to miss it, and he went to go get his own rebound.
Now it's Campbell rising up for three. Just right rim's no good. Rebounded there by Troutman.
Now this will be a great matchup. You got two very athletic guards going at it.
Troutman's handles are unreal in this game.
He's got a good change-up speed. You know, they call that the breeze speed, that stop and go. He gets you to hesitate, but that first step is just so explosive.
Very dynamic.
And it's so hard to prepare for. I mean, there's not a lot of kids. That's just a natural ability right there. It's hard to teach that, man.
Well, and he keeps the ball tight, too. When he's driving, he's keeping it high and tight.
So now, just like the Grinnell system, they're going to sub in 5, sub out 5. So brand new 10 on the floor right now for both these teams.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, next Monday will be the girls' turn. So make sure you check that out. Going back to the girls in the past several years, same thing with the boys. Olivia Smith, Ayanna Patterson. The list goes on and on with the amount of talent we have in Fort Wayne, even on the girls' side.
And a beautiful make down low by number 23 in black. That was Mason Posey. I believe that was RJ Nunn with the steal that found him in transition.
First lead here for the Jammers.
Long three-pointer off the heel, no good. Rebounded by his teammate. With that long three-pointer was Evan Burke.
Ooh, filthy.
We call that the football tuck. He tucked it in, got skinny, and finished strong.
That was Earl Fuller with the take in the lane. Zach looking like Q Owens back in the St. Francis days.
Oh, baby.
He'll be inducted into their Hall of Fame.
No question.
Three-point attempt, and bucket is good by number 9, Dylan Fuller.
Great rotation on that shot. Real smooth release, held the follow-through, textbook.
Nice size there by Fuller with a three-point shot. As the handoff goes to number 45, one of the bigger players on the floor.
Well, and the white team's doing a lot of exchange stuff. I wonder if that's due to Coach Cummings at St. Francis. We do some of that dribble drive. Doing a good job of spacing it out.
Wow, what a handle in traffic. Found the crease and got to the cup and laid it in. That was a serious move and transition by number 25, RJ Nunn.
RJ Nunn going coast to coast with it. Nice ball handling by Evan Burke, working his way out of the corner. Now on the pump fake. That's number 34, Trent Jasanowski.
Can't leave him open.
Boy, Burke is locked and loaded there for the three-pointer. Zach, he saw that pass was coming. He knew exactly what he wanted to do with it.
Well, the driving kick has been excellent, and they're hitting the post. I mean, I don't know if the coaches said anything or if these guys just have high IQ, but this is great basketball.
And there you see it again.
Yeah. Great recognition.
I'll tell you what, it didn't take number 9 in black long to get going. That's Dylan Fuller. He's been impressive. Burke, another one. Looks like he almost shoots it from the hip, Tim.
He's got a quick release, but it looks like it's going to go slow, and then all of a sudden it's gone out of his hand. I mean, his older brother had an outstanding sophomore year. I seen him hit Zane Burke, that is, 5 threes in a game, 4 threes in a game a couple of times. They are shooters, boy.
Well, throwing it up and picking up the loose ball is number 25 in black. Nice leave. That time it was a miss by Fuller, his first of the game.
We talked about covering these teams and the aggression that they've had, and I haven't seen one drive where they avoided contact. They are going body to body, and they're trying to finish. That's encouraging.
Yeah.
That last bounce pass looking for the big man, Colin Butler. He's looking to go to Leo.
Big shout out to his dad, Corey Butler, a friend of ours back in high school.
First row, down at the baseline. Nice lob. Extra pass, wide open three-point attempt. That was Mason Posey. He's also going into Leo. Butler just had a hard time crowning. It looked like that pass was a little bit too far out in front.
That's what you've seen here, as Zach has mentioned. The defense and the rotations have been good. The passing's been good. The drive and dish, I mean, it's been very, very sound here to start this game.
And Dylan Fuller shooting at a high percentage. 19-13 is your score. Left-handed take, no good. That was rebounded by Gage Sefton. Sefton from Blackhawk Christian, and another nice find and finish. Dylan Fuller.
I know this is an all-star game, but if we're watching film, there's going to be some sprints. There is no way that leak out happens and you don't get back on defense. That guy's getting exposed on that clip. We're breaking that down.
But Dylan Fuller seems like he's showing a little bit of everything. Speed, strength, and basketball IQ.
No question, he's got it all.
This is number 7 in white. That's Max Mormon from St. Charles. Burke, he's just looking for us a little bit of space to get his shot off. This time it'll be Butler, top of the key three.
Look at the battle for the rebound. I love it. Looks like we're going to stay at that end, Jeff.
You know how we talked about great basketball and good recognition? I think because of the amazing point guards we currently have in the NBA, it's cool to pass now. And you're noticing these young kids love an assist just as much as a point.
Butler's three-pointer just off the mark, rebounded by R.J. Nunn.
That is a truest statement as there could be right there. I think Jay Kidd was probably the one that started to get that going.
Steve Nash.
Okay, well, Jay Kidd was a little bit before. But, starting to get that stuff going, Steve Nash, and then on.
White chocolate making the no-looks cool.
Everybody should Google Jason Williams, youngsters out there. If you do not know white chocolate, we're not talking about Zach Welkin. We're talking
the three ball.
Evan Burke with another hand in his face hits another triple. Burke now has 6 points in this one.
You can't leave him open. I mean, the kid shoots it in his sleep. I'd love to see the driveway games there at the Burke household.
Well, one thing that he does that's a sign of any good shooter, he does not hesitate. And I don't care how textbook your form is, shooting is mental. If you hesitate, you're probably not going to make it. And he has no conscience. He just shoots it and trusts his technique.
Zach, you talked about passing and how cool it is now.
Shout out to Kyrie Irving.
Well, back in 2015, that's what all the referees were saying about the St. Francis team, them whipping the ball around the perimeter, saying the hardest thing to guard is a moving ball.
There's no question, and it's just like any time you're trying to break a press. You're not going to out-dribble a press. You're going to out-pass it.
Nice baseline drive. The jumper's just a little bit short there by Owen Winters.
Johnny Washington's bringing the ball up. He plays for the Concordia Cubs. Really long, good player, lots of potential.
Yeah, he's really long.
And he's actually, I believe, only a 7th grader playing up.
Hello.
You said that's a Johnny Washington.
Yes.
Looking for the reverse lane, but he will be fouled to shoot a pair.
Yeah, him and Briante Johnson from Memorial Park are two of the headliners in that 7th grade class.
And what a game. If you folks missed it on Summit City Sports, you can find Memorial Park versus St. Paul. And I believe that opened up the March Madness here, the MVP March Madness for Mitch Sturm. Back and forth game. A lot of athleticism on the floor. A lot of fun to watch.
Lots of fun. Lots of neighborhood talk. A lot of those guys know each other well, grow up together.
Good block down low by number 24 in white. That was tremendous.
But once again, Victor Hoya finishing. Victor Hoya, who was an MVP for Blackhawk Christian in their Game 1 win in the tournament. Zach, he's the one I interviewed. I thought for sure he'd say he's going to Blackhawk Christian. He said, I'm not sure yet.
Should it really surprise you?
No, not anymore.
You've been around this game way too long to be surprised.
Long three-point attempt off the mark by Max Robinson.
I'm still not even sure if I'm returning to Maplewood next year. I'm exploring my options.
We all know you couldn't get away from the wood.
Oh, I love the wood. I couldn't leave the wood with Trell Hogue and Tavar Baskerville coming back. I'd be silly.
My Lord, if you don't follow Zach Welklin on Twitter, you need to. That Hogue, I'm telling you what, dynamic boy. Wow.
Well, how about Devin Lewis with that strong take right there? I thought for sure going 1-on-2 his shot would get blocked. Found a way to get it to fall. He's heading to Canterbury.
Playing for Chase Sanders there. Outstanding player. Chase Sanders.
Can't go wrong with Canterbury. Excellent coach in Chase Sanders. Excellent education.
Yep.
Why not?
Yep. Chase will get them right back where they want to be. I know that as well.
And Tim, we talk about this with some of the newer coaches coming in the Summit Athletic Conference. Chase just kind of gets it, from a social media standpoint and all that, getting his kids the recognition they deserve.
Yep. He gets it from all of that. He gets it from, I tell you what, of course I like Chase and everything. TP's got the best gear I've seen. I don't know, it may be just me, but I love their setup that Chase Sanders put on place there.
Look good, feel good, play good.
That's right.
That was Tusi Jackson with the three-pointer on the other end, right there with the multiple putback attempts. Victor Hoya getting it to fall. Hoya is athletic.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm asking too much, but I was looking for a little trash talk, a little chippiness. Now, I have a feeling we're going to definitely get that in the second game.
Oh, yeah, I think for sure in the second game, Zach. Coming down with the rebound in black. That was number 36, Cam Quinlan.
Ooh.
Nice three. Now, looking at these rosters in this first game, this game is pretty much private, Northwest, Southwest, and the Lutheran schools and Catholic schools. The next game's more of the Fort Wayne community.
That three-pointer off the heel. Well, how about number 36, Quinlan? He's from St. Charles.
Yeah, he's got good side as well. A little hesitation right now to shoot the ball, it seems, but I think he's going to come right in and do okay, especially if he's going to go play for Matt Kostoff, who has had a couple of very nice players throughout the day.
Oh, no question. I actually was talking to Coach Kostoff during that St. Charles game, and he was very excited about him. He's got a lot of potential. Obviously, he's not making any promises, but he has eyes. He sees talent, and like I said, he's got good IQ, high energy, long. You can't teach that. So I know Coach Kostoff's very excited.
Yeah, and he has a sophomore and returning will be a junior, and Brendan Lytle running the point. One of the better sophomores in the area as well.
Tough as nails.
Yeah, they out of Dwenger's going to be okay. Losing Hayden Smithy is definitely a big deal. He'll be a Cougar for St. Francis as Coach Lacrosse doing an outstanding job getting these Fort Wayne kids. I just heard today Devin Donaldson's coming back to Fort Wayne.
How about that David Edge commit?
That was I was absolutely, number one, I was so happy for Ezra to finally commit, and then for head coach Lacrosse and St. Francis. I mean, that is, you're not going to find many NAI players with his ability and his size and length.
Nice three-pointer by number 21, Ryan Tester in white, 36-22 right now your score. Yeah, I guess that just means Coach Beasley is going to be in the Cougar gym for 4 more years. Obviously, we got to see him with Chandler White being a part of the squad.
Yeah, Chandler's finally gone, the 36-year-old senior.
But I'm going to tell you what, who's not going to love Victor Hoya? It seems like with the offensive rebounds, he's always right around the ball.
And if you look, he's talking, he's communicating on all ball screens, all cutting. You don't see that a lot, especially as an 8th grader.
Out here guarding the perimeter as he stuck his hand, nearly got the steal. And that was Tusi Jackson, the sharpshooter.
The other thing, and again, Mitch does a great job, and they have great refs out here, but I haven't seen one player, take it too far as complaining to the refs. They're listening. Great sportsmanship, which that comes first because college coaches are looking at that.
And speaking on the other things that college coaches are looking on, I know we try to say it as much as we can. Social media, kids. Watch what you're putting on social media. That's so important. College coaches and recruiters look at that stuff. Trust me, they look at that, and you can lose scholarships over one simple social media post. So kids, make sure, read 3 or 4 times before you hit send, and then another 2 more just in case.
That three-pointer just off its mark. Earlier in that possession, it was Dakota Hitzman. I don't know if you guys saw that step back. It was fantastic. Hoya down low once again.
Oh,
Johnny Washington really pushing it. And again, as a 7th grader, he'll get stronger. He'll finish that next year. But that push allowed my guy Vic to get that rebound and be active.
So much of the game of basketball is predicated on the point guard and his pace. You can't say enough of how important that is. You saw it with Homestead this year, and Zach Kruger, the junior, stepping up. He's one of them Homestead players, waited his turn.
What a season.
Got his turn, and I tell you what, he ran that show nicely. And I don't know of a better stopping on a dime 15 to 7 foot jump shooter in the SAC as what Zach Kruger is.
And what he did well is he knows what he's good at. He stuck to it. He didn't try to do too much. Those Homestead players do a great job fitting into that system, not forcing the issue, and at the end of the day, they let their stars shine.
Boy, that was a nice block on the jumper there by number 21, Ryan Tester. But that's going to do it for the first half. 39-22, 41-22, Jammers on top. It looks like we're going to move just right on to the second half.
Why not?
Not to get off topic, what game was that where Luke Goody dropped like 28 in the first half of the holiday tournament?
Oh my God.
That was their opening game. Was that against Southside?
Boy, did he make a name for himself right there in that tournament.
But, I mean, it even goes back to last year as his freshman year. I remember he hit 2 buzzer beaters. One was against Carmel to go into overtime where Homestead ended up getting beat. But Luke Goody, and FYI, we're still looking for a nickname for Luke Goody, so please inbox me. All right, we got a thing going with Luke Goody. We need to get him a nickname. He did not like the Red Ranger. So we got to go a little something different.
He didn't like the Jinja Ninja?
The Jinja Ninja, no, he didn't like that one as much. But we're working on it. We still got hopefully 2 more years of Luke.
No question.
So it's Davidson with the ball right now. They got the starters back in here for the white team, the Slammers. I'll tell you what, it was the second group for the Jammers really doing some damage here.
Yeah, they pushed that lead out. They were the ones that took the lead and then pushed it out to 17.
Well, this group's really dynamic because you got Troutman who can penetrate, and you got Davidson who can shoot. You got First who can post up. They got it all in this group.
Ref doing a good job here, kind of guarding us from the players' table here courtside.
Preston Ross did a nice job timing on that shot block. The shot blocking is 99% timing, and the rest of it is athleticism and length. I'm telling you what, timing is key.
Mormon's pass goes outside. Three-pointer off the mark, but grabbing his own rebound. That was number 4, Micah McClure.
Wow, he did something that we never see with kids. You got to always preach it. Follow your shot. I don't care how good you are. You're not going to make every shot.
So Davidson's shot in the lane.
What do you think about the theory that you don't follow your shot?
Depending on who you are, what position in your system, you might have 2 guys back, you might have 1 guy back. If you're the guy that's got to be back, then you know better. Now,
so it's more defensive scheme?
It's more of a mindset.
Okay.
But again, depending on what team you are and what your coach wants, yeah, there's times where it would be dumb to follow your shot. They need you back as a security.
Sure.
I just preach it because it just teaches them not to be satisfied.
Okay, I like that.
You got to have that aggressive mindset. You can never be satisfied. Yeah. Shooters sometimes get a little too relaxed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's like you said, you want to stay moving. Keep the
game
active, flowing.
Stay together.
First, back out to number 7, Max Mormon.
And his dad is a assistant football coach there at Snyder. Went to Snyder, of course, but out of St. Charles. They got several. He's got a couple younger brothers as well. Mormon families, tremendous families, no doubt about that at St. Charles.
And that's something you see. Sometimes you'll get an occasional St. Charles kid that will go to Snyder just due to neighborhood boundaries.
Well, that was a nice rebound by Preston Ross on the other end, working up against First.
Yeah, the rebounding, the attacking of the glass has been tremendous. The defense, man, everything looks good coming out of his hand, though, that's for sure.
Number 26 up top. Woo! That's Sam Campbell.
The future Bishop Dwenger Saint.
Representing the St. Charles Cardinals.
Well, they said at St. Charles, every single one of those basketball players is a football player.
That's how St. Charles does. St. Vincent's is the same way. Most of the CYO schools, their players do play multiple sports. But yeah, I mean, I think that helps overall. The continuity at these schools with the coaches that stay so long, the ADs that are there that long, that all helps in the continuity part.
Well, we've been bragging about Eric Troutman all game. Wow, what a quick first step he had right there on that take to the cup.
Do we know what school he's from? Because I don't.
I do not have him down on my list.
I'm about to find out, though.
Whoever it was provided a lot of excitement this past winter, as the second one is good as well. Got 42-24 here in the gym.
Don't quote me, but I want to say Troutman is from Anderson.
And there are Anderson and Marion players both here in the All-Star Classic. Of course, Anderson made it to the Final Four before losing to Norwell.
Well, and talking to their coach, nice three by Mormon, but talking to the coach from Anderson, he said it was just one of those groups. They came up, they've been good, and they've had some success.
Which is exactly what you got at Norwell.
Absolutely.
Baseline jumper by Ross is no good.
Oh, he's in trouble, picked up the dribble. Troutman came to help.
So that was McClure with the rebound. Once again, shows you don't need a lot of height for the boards. Good job by First down low.
And that was finishing through contact. Sorry, Zach.
No, you're good. I just cannot get over the vision. These guys are really unselfish. They are looking for cutters, and they're active. They're not just standing and watching the ball handler.
That's from deep.
Nice three-pointer by number 23
that was from
in black.
Lima Road there, Jeff.
That was Mason Posey. That was from Leo. Wow. The Leo crossing. Mormon.
He's been practicing that at the Leo Cedarville Park.
Right, no, that beautiful park.
On the Gorillas.
First pass.
Ooh, a little
intercepted.
A little flare there, something you only see in an all-star game.
Nice job taking it
tremendous.
to the cup by Alex Troutman. So we got two Troutmans, Eric and Alex. They did not play on the same team. Ross with the rebound. He's a good rebounder. A lot of size to him.
Go ahead, Zach.
No, what an attack. I mean, they're like I said, they're good at changing their body. Almost like a Euro, but just getting skinny and adjusting on one foot. They know how to create space.
Mormon with a quick first step.
Starting to see a little fatigue here, a little less talk, a little more sluggish. And I don't know if that's just the adrenaline's gone, but I'm noticing it a little more, man. And he just finds a way to get to the basket. As he gets stronger, and regardless of if he grows or not, he's going to finish better. But he gets to the cup at will. And again, it's the change of speed. He knows how to do the change of speed and direction, but it's just that stop and go. That's hard to guard, and he keeps you guessing.
That dynamic first step. It's like he gives you that a couple times. You're going to have to honor it. The one time you bite, he's gone.
He's a player's nightmare when your coach says pick him up full court because you're either going to be on a highlight reel, and if it's at the holiday tournament, there's going to be a lot of oohs and ahs.
Go back to Jack Ferguson dropping, I won't say the defensive player's name, but go back to Jack Ferguson dropping one player in just one trip up the floor. The skill level is so tremendous.
Man.
What a college career he's having.
Smooth man. Smooth man.
Yeah, it's that Jack Ferguson. We were begging for that D1 offer the whole season. I was his senior year. Wouldn't give up, but that Homestead, he finally did get that from Colgate. But that Homestead bunch, they were a very good bunch with Parker Menges and Brandon Durnell and company.
Nice finish there. Yeah. Speaking of him, sometimes I'd watch Jack and wonder if he grew up at the Jorgensen Y or if he played at McMillan.
It's pretty tremendous, isn't it? That's a heck of a statement.
Just so much moxie and confidence.
So pulling it down there, Gage Sefton. On the other end, Zach, he was able to knock it in with his left hand there, avoiding the block. That was Dylan Fuller grabbing the rebound, number 9.
Ooh.
Sefton back up, can't finish.
Keep it simple, fella. Finish. You had it.
Dump pass.
Way to run the floor. Tremendous run the floor by number 34, Trent Jasinowski.
So far, Fuller, number 9 in black, has got 11 points in this game. Vying for the MVP honors. Once again, Sefton with another finish. Tim, he does a really good job of just extending that right arm out and getting the separation he needs to get a shot off.
Yeah, he's got a lot of length. It's just like that on the other side here with Troutman. I guarantee you they picked up a ton of fouls on the defense throughout this last year in middle school. They're almost getting fouled every time at the rim. Of course, we don't expect the chippy fouls to be called here in the All-Star game, but I guarantee you both of them would have been at the line several more times in the first half.
Gage Sefton, Victor Hoya, Davidson, Jimmy Davidson, and Josh First. I mean, all playing together at Blackhawk? That doesn't seem fair. But fun.
I'm reporting them.
Trust me,
We're working too hard.
There's been enough of that on social media throughout their postseason run, calling for the private school jump, which is ridiculous.
You know what I notice? The people that complain and I guess quote-unquote hate, those are the ones that would be the first ones to take them.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
That was Dylan Fuller with the steal, looking to go coast to coast, had it knocked away from behind.
Shout out to Wayne TV. I see Glenn Marini over there. Did I get that right? Is he Wayne or is he?
Yeah, he's Wayne TV.
He's Wayne.
He's going to be an honorary coach in game number 2.
Gotta love Glenn.
Dean Pantazzi's supposed to be an honorary coach here in game number 1.
Dean, of course, one of the all-time favorites in Fort Wayne, Indiana, does everything.
He's everywhere, man.
All right, no doubt.
Well, I'll tell you what, these shooters on the floor, they love that step back. They've been watching their James Harden videos.
I'm going to need number 3, Ethan Roy, my cousin in the black, to get a point. You cannot be family and go scoreless. We can have no goose eggs.
Fuller leaves it up to Sefton for the easy 2.
Excellent finish. Excellent finish. His dad played at Bethel.
Sefton?
Sefton, yes.
Name does ring a bell.
Unfortunately, got to give them respect. You know,
NAIA rivals.
Classic rivalry. Great program. Great program. Nothing but respect, but, you know.
So that was James Mallory getting fouled and heading to the free throw line. Brand new coach and Ryan Lightfoot. They got some good things going on over there. Zach over there coaching up his cousin.
Man, I just need to coach him up to grow.
He's got the Bishop Dwenger shorts on.
He does. He is a saint through and through.
Classic.
Unfortunately, you cannot coach puberty. He's got a dad that's 6'3", and he's 5'5". Come on, Ethan.
It'll happen.
He'll get there.
53-35. Jammers still on top.
Yeah, the Slammers came out really on fire with Troutman and Mallory just dominating the drive and dish game. But that second group that came in for the Jammers really put it out and out of touch, and it's been like that ever since.
Yeah, Gage Sefton's been finishing at will, but the three-pointer's good by Jamin McCain Townsend.
No hesitation. He almost did a set shot. And I think the defender was almost like, are you really going to shoot this slow? And he pulled it off.
And that jumper's good by Dylan Fuller. I'm telling you, so far, he's got to be the MVP.
He's got good size.
Yeah, that right there remind me of big ticket Sid Curry of this year, of that little 10-foot, you face up, you get it in the post, you face up 10-foot, give them the triple threat, and then just knock a J in their eye. Sidney Curry did that so often this year for Northrop and head coach Rod Shamble that it's so hard to guard. If you're gonna, you almost got to let him shoot the jumper.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. Sid Curry put in the work. He totally transformed his body. I mean, he was cut up. Nothing but props to him.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that was a negative for the rims in the SAC.
Oh.
So it's Fuller with the putback, back-to-back buckets for him. But a baseline jumper by Ethan Roy nearly fell.
We're going to get there.
Mallory just left short. Running on the other end, the give to Fuller. Oh, it's so pretty, so easy for Dylan Fuller. With the assist, that was R.J. Nunn. They can run the floor.
Yeah, the fatigue, as Zach mentioned a couple minutes ago, has set in, and a little bit more transition break here.
Step back three-pointer just off the mark.
With fatigue comes slightly more questionable shots. Yeah. You know, guys, towards the middle of the game, guys are trying to get theirs a little bit. Oh, I'm not on the board. I need to get a point. So this is a chance to still play good basketball, you know, have fun and be aggressive, but you still gotta play smart.
That was Gage Sefton with the putback. I'll tell you what, the Jammers are just killing it on the block.
Yeah. There's been no stopping him down low. That's been fun to watch.
And think about post play. Name one March Madness team that had success that didn't have excellent rebounding and excellent post play. Yeah, guards win games, but you can't complete the game if you don't have bigs.
Yeah, and it reminds me of the Virginia-Purdue game because Purdue couldn't rebound.
No, they could not.
Oh, that was a frustrating game. Brooks' three-pointer just off the mark. He was feeling the buzzer there. So I think that's going to do it for the first half. Not sure how that worked. 25 minutes for the first half. 10-minute.
No, they did 25 in that second, didn't they?
No, they started it up at 10.
Maybe that's to get the games back on?
Well, on a positive note, defensively, I always talk defense. I haven't got to use the Mark Jackson quote, hand down, man down. That means most shots have been contested. There's effort on defense. Guys have pride. They don't want to get scored on. I don't care if it's an all-star game. I'm seeing some defense. Other than that clip that we're going to break down where my guy did not get back to the paint, and they got an easy leak out. Great defense.
Mark Jackson, isn't he going to be the next coach at L.A.? That's what everybody wants.
That is what everybody wants.
What they want.
Now, we going to the local. Are there any names you've heard pop up for the Wayne job?
No.
Zach Welkland.
Yeah, that's the first. That's the first name that came to my mind, Tim. I'm not even gonna lie.
I got a few texts from current Wayne kids that I had at Maple, and but no, one of the crazier rumors I've heard is, and again, it's a rumor, that Shabazz Khalik misses Fort Wayne and might be coming back. Now, again, I'm not saying that's true, and
that would be a shock to me.
I'm not saying my source is good. From every conversation I've had with Boz, he loves where he's at. He loves his resources, loves the town. I highly doubt you move all the way down there and come back, but you never know.
Yeah, never know.
I'll tell you what, he was so good to Fort Wayne. The time he spent at Northside and Elmhurst, the records he put together, I mean, every single year you knew his squad was going to be competing with the best. And I'll tell you what, I was shocked when I watched Northside this year. The first time I saw them, just devoid of talent, 1 year removed from Shabazz, it was like, wow.
I still know Boz, and he's a great coach. I know he still cannot live with that loss down at State because that team was unreal. Shout out to Ben Davis, great talents. But, it came down to free throws, a few little questionable calls, and, I'm not blaming the refs. I'm not blaming the coaching. But that was a game, I was sitting next to Ben Davis people, and they were thinking, how are we still in this game?
Yeah.
The talent was tremendous for Northside. You got two high major D1 post players, NAI D2 guards, just athleticism out the wazoo.
Wasn't it Devontae Kinney on the sideline where they said
where he stepped out of bounds? Yeah.
A matter of a half an inch maybe.
Still haven't seen a blown up of the foot where it's touching the line, but
speaking of that,
it is what it is.
We had like 5 camera angles.
Jalen Butts, who is having an outstanding sophomore year at DePaul, there in Chicago. Yeah, talk about he was one of those guys, in our early doing SummitCitySports.com that I noticed how above the rim he rebounded. And it wasn't dunking or anything. He rebounded elbow level at the rim.
And he made an effort to, because I still remember when he was at Prince Chapman and him and Malik Williams were in the same grade.
Yeah.
And those two played on legit in 8th grade. And, imagine that.
Right.
Malik Williams and Jalen Butts.
Malik Williams, who's at Louisville.
Ooh. Yep. That's some length.
That is some length.
I'll tell you, the first thing that I really recognized when Jalen Butts and Keon were at Northside was, boy, you go to one of those games and you just clip off all the dunks, it's going to get a lot of views.
Oh, my gosh, lots of views. Again, sorry to interrupt. I know I'm super ADD today, but shout out to Joe Jordan. He just came over and showed us some love. Without him and his partnership with the Boys and Girls Club, none of this is possible.
Yeah, and Mitch Sturm, his heart, his knowledge of basketball throughout all these years, growing up in Marion.
Passion.
Oh, yeah.
True love of the game.
Well, we're back to the action. It's number 29 in black, Alex Troutman. Troutman's going to cough it up. Earl Fuller.
Back at you, action.
Yeah, we're going back and forth. Picking up the loose ball. Three-pointer by Campbell, no good.
Yeah, Campbell, he does not hesitate. If they call him a football player, I'd like to see him on the gridiron because he is aggressive.
Well, and I don't know if I'd call him a shooter first. He'll learn quickly. Coach Kostoff will love that aggression, but at the same time, he's going to have plenty of shooters at Dwenger. Yeah. His main thing is going to be, obviously he's going to continue to develop his shot, but his main thing is going to be defense, pushing it, kicking it, and he'll learn that. And again, it's an all-star game. I'm not mad at him for shooting that.
Right, absolutely.
It's like you said, when you get your opportunity, take it.
No question, take it.
In white now, the baseline drive. That was Colin Butler. Three-pointer, just a little strong, rebounded by Troutman.
Yeah, I'd like to see Butler go with that reverse right there. He had it open, and with film session, more and more film session, he'll be able to see that and see how easy he could have scored right there.
Going back to what you said with shot blocking and timing,
yeah,
it's the same thing in rebounding. I'm seeing so many kids jumping on the release, and they're coming down, and some kid 4 inches shorter than them is jumping at the right time and getting the ball. And a lot of it is just the excitement of an all-star game, so you're just full go. You're not really thinking. But once they get that timing down, it's everything. And other than timing, it's length. You would be shocked, especially in the NAIA, you'll get guys that are undersized posts, but their wingspan is so long, and the way they get shots off is everything.
Yep.
Second free throw's no good. Getting the rebounds, Earl Fuller. I'll tell you what, in that last layup attempt, Fuller was timing it for a big swat from behind.
Oh, man. One of the guys we had at St. Francis, Bryce Linnup, was going against guys 5-6 inches taller than him, but, he had timing and length.
What a ball player he was. My goodness gracious.
Pride of Columbus, Indiana.
Oh, man, looking for the 3 points. Can't get it to fall.
If I could, I'd give him a 1.5 for the attempt.
Now, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure dunks are 3 points.
They are. They are 3.
Outlet pass to Troutman. That time gets it to go. That's a three-pointer. Alex Troutman and the Jammers.
You can't teach that.
No. that is God-given right there.
I don't care how much Vertimax you do.
I'll tell you what, I want to see where Alex Troutman's going to be his junior year.
I love AWP. Great stuff, but that Vertimax is not getting you up there that easy. Trust me, I tried it. I was a classic warm-up dunker.
Yeah.
Throw it up, grab the rim, look to see if anyone was watching. Always follow the short guy. Never go behind your high flyers in the layup line.
No. Set yourself up for success, not failure.
Words of wisdom here from Zach Welker.
Oh, that was pretty. Woo. That was absolutely pretty, and it looks like he's okay. Fell down there, number 47, Preston Ross, who is a younger brother of Ellen Ross, who was an outstanding Bishop Dwenger basketball player. I see their father over there. He's like 6'8", so expect that a little bit more. And that was another thing that's opened up, another program that's opened up in their basketball coaches. Cleveland Inge left Bishop Dwenger to pursue some other things. So Bishop Dwenger and that girls' job is now open as well.
And I think Ross ended up going to Butler. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
On the girls' scholarship.
Yeah, she was she could have been probably Division I in volleyball as well. She was a tremendous player, and that's another what Zach was speaking on of being undersized and timing and length. She was tremendous at that. Average a double-double her senior year. She is a extremely good player and a high academic player as well.
Earl Fuller off glass for the triple.
It might be 7:34, but the bank is open. Let the cash flow, baby.
Nice. Look at that double jump there, Zach. He was on his second one before anybody else got up.
I love the follow, but I do not like how nobody hit him and pushed him out. Right. Come on, you got to get him out of the way. You can't let him get his own second chance point.
That's Gage Sefton. He's doing way too much scoring today.
He's active, and it's nothing fancy. He just is in the right spots at the right time.
Wide open three-point attempt. Just off the mark there, number 13 in white. That was Dakota Hitzman.
Good call, but I like that Hitzman on that defensive transition. He picked a spot defensively and made the offensive player go around him.
Made it very awkward.
He did get the offensive rebound, but that first initial defensive stance was tremendous.
Have we had a charge tonight?
We have not.
Man. If Coach Izzo was here, he would not be happy. We need a charge.
We need a charge.
And if there's not one, we're getting the football helmets and pads out, and we're going to go.
And we're going to roll it out.
So Alex Troutman hits the second. 68-41 now your score here in the second half. feed. Goes to Butler down low. Goes up with the left hand. Nice move on the block for the big man.
Good soft touch. He was patient. Nice little over-the-shoulder hook.
Yep. That was a nice drop step.
Boy, Troutman.
To his right shoulder. He just couldn't finish. He'll get it, though.
Alex Troutman in black and Eric Troutman in white. Extremely explosive athletes. You can see why Anderson's had the run that they've had with those two guys.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
That was Ryan Tester, number 21 in white, flying by the table.
It's always hilarious at this age to see these kids, you know, like they're starting to grow, but the feet are just massive. They do not match up with the body. And we're not talking 4th grade where you buy a size 7 just to say you have big feet. These kids have big feet, and they just haven't filled out their bodies yet. I'm blaming the food, all this processed food.
Yep, no doubt. Well, I'm sure assistant coach there at Southside, David Goodwill, would get you a meal plan if you needed one.
Oh, yeah, he will. Yeah, I teach elementary, and I have kids in 5th grade with size 12 shoes, and they're 5'11". I'm like, this is not normal.
No, that's not.
I'm not mad about it, though.
No, as a basketball coach, yes, that's a tremendous thing to see.
First free throw by Ryan Tester, just off the mark. I remember I played with a strong safety in college who was 6'3", ran a 4.3 40, and wore a size 8 shoe.
8?
Had the smallest feet you ever saw.
I bet he had little ankles.
Little ankles, could fly. Could absolutely fly. JJ.
Tim's laughing at me.
Ankle socks fell off.
Ask a college football coach. They look at that. Little ankles.
Little ankles.
You look at any corner in the NFL, it's that lean, fast twitch muscle fiber. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Butler down low looking for the putback. He had 2 guys on him. He's fouled him. He'll head to the free throw line.
What would you do without me?
Laugh a little bit less.
Little ankle factoids.
The Cliff Clavin of Fort Wayne basketball here. That might be a too old a reference for the kids out there. Who? That might be too old.
I hardly remembered that one. Cliff. The Cliff-isms.
That's from Cheers.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Did that show have a local actress?
Shelley Long went to Southside. Look at that.
Oh, man.
Act like you didn't know that already.
Troutman's pass there was deflected by number 47, Preston Ross.
Yeah, Southside has put out a ton of people.
Oh, that's a staple of this city.
I love the Archers. Love their girls basketball program and head coach Juanita Goodwill. She's one of the best in the state, if not the Midwest. Her and her husband David Goodwill, of course, run that Southside program out there, and it is so much fun to watch.
Step back 3 by Earl Thomas, no good on the other end. It was Eli Maddox hitting the triple. Townsend just won't stop driving to the cup.
It's because they can't stop him.
Nope.
He sees a little bit of space, and he makes it big.
Speaking of girls basketball, that Hamilton Southeastern team was unreal. Now, did they lose a lot, or did they return?
They lost. They lose their top player, who's I forget where she's going.
Oregon, I think.
Yeah, I think it is Oregon. Yeah, they lose her. They lose Irvin, Zach Irvin's younger sister. But there was quite a few juniors and sophomores that played on that squad.
Because that's a heck of a Homestead team to come up short. I mean, Coach Parker's got to be thinking, good Lord, I'm playing one of the best girls teams in the nation, you know? I mean, that's a tough out.
That whole regional was something else.
Yeah,
Zionsville, loaded.
Yeah, it was that 4A sectional, regional, and both boys and girls, just insane this year here in North Indiana.
14:50 left here, and it's the Jammers still on top, 72-43.
And a lot of people, going back to that, would love to have a 5th class in high school basketball here in the state of Indiana, just because of the difference in enrollment from some of the Indy schools there in the MIC compared to the larger 4A schools here in our city in Northside and Northrop and Homestead. Yeah, it's I'd probably be on board with that.
And then this is the first year ever in Northrop history that they are not playing the highest class for football. They've moved down, and again, Fort Wayne Community Schools has seen enrollment drop slightly. I know Snyder's right at 1,900. They've always been in like 2,100 range. Northrop used to always be around 2,300. They're at 2,000. It's hard to compete against a Ben Davis, a Center Grove, Warren Central, Carmel, where they're 3,000 to 5,000, almost double or even more than some of these schools. That's tough.
4,800 students at Carmel. You combine Homestead and Carroll, and it's still not as many students as they have at Carmel.
That is a huge statement right there.
Unbelievable.
Townsend. That one will fall.
Come on.
Troutman, Eric Troutman.
Come on, Troutman.
It's like, where's he been? Oh, he was on the bench for a second.
Goodness.
You know, it's funny, and I don't mean to get on the topic of football, but I was looking at Indy Star.
Ethan Roy, three-pointer.
Shout out to the fam right there. Good job, Ethan.
Tim's going to tweet that out.
There will be no beatdown later.
Good rebound by Ross down low. And the reverse lay-in is good. It falls for number 23 in black.
I'm talking too much. But
Mason Posey.
What I was going to say is we were talking about Indy schools and football. I saw the Cathedral had 17 current Division I football players on rosters in 2018. The second was Carmel with 12. Now in Fort Wayne, Snyder led with 7. Carroll had 6. Dwenger and Homestead, I believe, had 4. Now Wayne, they're going to have 2 next year with Darius Alexander and Craig Young. Shout out to Coach Moore. I'm always hard on him. We go at it, but, you know, he's a good guy. And, again, that's a tough position to be in at Wayne. You know, he's creating a culture. And hopefully they can do the same with the basketball.
Another strong take and finish. That time, R.J. Nunn.
He's just unstoppable once he gets his mind to it.
Oh, unstoppable.
How strong he is.
You talk about that Cathedral program. You remember Marcus Step from Bishop Dwenger.
Yes.
Three-pointer, just inside the arc.
Little Steph Curry step back between the legs.
That was pretty, all but now they're talking a little bit. I like
They're going at it. I love it.
I like it. Oh, he wanted it. Oh, good pass.
Fuller down low. Man, he can't be stopped.
Well, he did it early. He got the seal early before the basketball even came close to him. He sealed his defender, gave that open look for his point guard to throw it to him.
What a shot right there.
Wow.
That was McCain Townsend.
No, there's a few guys on here we're going to see on the highlight reel.
Fuller coming down with it.
Looks like there was a foul.
So it will stay with the Jammers. But going back to Cathedral football, we were talking about. So Marquise Stepp, who's now at USC, should be the starting running back next year as a sophomore. He was the starter, and Tony Johnson was the backup. Didn't have many stats. Now he's at St. Francis tearing it up.
Man, you look at the numbers on Marquise. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Marcus had quite the career as well at St. Francis. Can you believe it? He started at all 3 levels of defense for a national championship NAIA team.
Yeah, that's
defensive back, linebacker, defensive end. He could do it all. Nice steal by Fuller.
Nice, calm Euro right there. Knew exactly what he was going to do, Zach.
What is it about these big men that think they're guards? Play like they're guards.
Well, that's what Zach mentioned in the opener is you got to continue to work on your skills. It doesn't matter how big you are. This is a skill-driven game.
It is.
But you've got to keep working at it.
And there's a fine line between understanding your limits and just being the big guy that's that guy. Like, chill out. You should be in the post. Your skills are not that well. Shout out to Ethan Roy. Another 3. Shooters only in the family. Put the 3s up, baby. But going back, the European players have been ahead of the curve for a while with that skill set in terms of the big guys. You're starting to see that trend come back, and you're starting to see more European and just more foreign guys in the NBA. Look at the Dallas Mavericks.
Look at Doncic. He is one of the most fun players to watch. He's got a little bit of everybody in him. He's got some Jay Williams in him. He's got some. He's just awesome.
How about that guy for the Bucks?
Giannis?
Yeah.
He is a freak of nature.
That was Tusi Jackson with his second three-pointer.
Look at the concentration here defensively.
That's Jackson once again. He's had 2 three-pointers made in this game.
Good
nice
look. And even better athleticism with the catch and the finish mid-air by number 49?
For all these young guys, that are questioning my excitement about skills. A perfect example is, and the only reason I know him that well is because he was in my class. Look at Victor Oladipo, who came in as a 3-star out of DeMatha.
Yep.
A lot of potential, very athletic, wasn't an excellent dribbler, was not an excellent shooter, worked his butt off, lived in Cook Hall, and now look at him. He had the athleticism. You can't teach that, but he devoted himself to honing in on his skills, and now he's a franchise player.
His freshman, sophomore year at IU, every Hoosier fan would scream when he shot the ball.
Right.
And that completely changed through his work ethic.
And Yogi Ferrell was the same way.
Yep.
He improved his shot.
Yep.
Well, not only that, people thought the Pacers were a contender until he got hurt.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? They did a great job for a while, but at some point, reality hits.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It's Davidson out of the corner.
Well, you just put Oladipo back on the floor. Then that takes Evans back, Tyreek back into his role. It takes everybody can then play their role more naturally.
Yep.
Boy, the outlet pass took him a little bit too far.
No good from the Canterbury product.
And it's rebounded by Mormon. He's already got 1 3, though, in this game, does Devin Lewis. Davidson with the catch and shoot, just left short. That's Lewis bringing it up, wearing number 0 for the Black Squad.
I'd say it's been a great finish by Hoya. What else would you expect? But going back to what I was going to say, I've seen a great balance between attacking and shooting. There hasn't been that, oh my goodness, they're just pulling up from 3. There's been drive and kick, there's been dribble drive exchange, a lot of pick and roll, a lot of back cut action, driving baseline. I mean, it's just been great basketball.
But how about these jammers continuously just laying it on? Still no real answer for the size that the Black Squad brings as that three-pointer's off the mark. Good job tracking it down by number 36 in black, Cam Quinlan.
Oh, wide open look. Great ball movement. Just didn't get it down, but you play the percentages on that, a little inside out. That's going to work most of the time.
Great timing by Hoya there. Again, he got the guy on his shoulder. He waited a second, went up, was patient on the putback. He's going to be special wherever he ends up. Coach Davidson, I'm sure, is going to find a way to make sure he stays in-house.
And once again, you talked about his defense, bringing it all the way out there to the perimeter.
Look at those long arms, very active, but he's not reaching. You know, there's a difference. Right. Now, they got him there on the hip check, but there's a difference between reaching and coming down on the ball. His footwork is quick enough to where he can be out that far.
That was James Mallory in white with the ball. You're right, it just looks like he has total control out there on defense.
Oh, great trap there. Oh, a little bit of a kick, but no call. That's all right.
It is okay. That shot was blocked by number 34, Trent Jesenowski. As Hoya was 1-on-2.
See, Hoya has the advantage. He's a big, but at the same time, he's versatile. So a lot of times in middle school, you'll get a kid who's truly a big just because they're big, thick, and kind of slow. So when he's guarding those guys, he can go out and pressure them, and they don't know what to do because he's just as long, but he's quicker.
With his frame, it kind of reminded me of David Asia a little bit, and he certainly filled up the stat sheet when it came to rebounds, blocks, steals, assists, points.
And if you knew David Edja in middle school, he was a tiny little guy, and he's one of those guys that just kind of came out of nowhere and shot up.
That reminds me of All-American James Jamasic, our defensive end. He was like 5'5" playing defensive tackle in middle school.
Tyler Eifert was 5'11" in 8th grade, a point guard. 6'6" tight end right now for the Bengals.
Boy, shout out to his brother and the run they had there at Purdue.
Oh, man, Grady Eifert.
What a success story that is.
Oh, the best.
Every high school coach's poster material. I mean, what more of an example would you want?
Yep.
And I believe Greg Eifert, the dad, went to Purdue and was he wasn't Mr. Indiana, but he was an all-star?
Yeah, and they got part of the Final Four Purdue court down in the basement.
Do they?
Yeah, not a bad resource to have. Get some shots up. I believe the Blackmans have a court in their basement. There's another family I heard. You know, I'm a teacher, so that's never going to happen. If I have a son, you're going to the park, or you're going to have a basic portable.
You better marry up, kid.
That was Max Mormon at the free throw line for the Slammers. Davidson now with the steal.
You should not put me and Tim together. This is trouble. I think we should do the holiday tournament together.
Oh, that would be a blast.
Davidson in the lane with the bunny.
Drinks on me after Aquafina.
Of course. Maybe a pop, because I'll be running out of energy.
Oh, no, we got to stay hydrated.
That is true. I don't want to pull a hammy.
Oh, Lord. You still got it.
That was Lewis from the elbow on the other end.
Excellent attack. I'm noticing a lot of great drives, and most of them have been struggling to finish on the contest. Again, that comes with practice. It comes with strength. But you got to appreciate the attack. Now we just got to finish a little better.
So here with the inbounds pass to Johnny Washington, number 13. Zach, you said that's one of your guys?
Yeah, great kid. I don't take any credit for any player. He's a gym rat. He's got a lot of potential.
Fuller just misses on the three-point. Hoya with the board.
Good look. Oh, nice block. That was straight timing right there. He was undersized on that. Number 16 in white, Earl Fuller, made the difference. Oh!
What a circus scoop shot there, Dakota Hitzman.
That was pretty.
Another block by Fuller.
We've seen that twice where you got an opportunity to score and they go out of their way to pass it.
Yep.
You know, how many times, and you may not recognize this again, I see it in the youth circuit a lot. You'll have a time where a guy will go out of his way to shoot a shot when it's not there, and then they'll be wide open, and then they pass it. And it's like you're making it too complicated. Keep it simple. Yeah. Sometimes you can pass too much. Maybe I'm too critical.
No, I agree with you 100%. 100%. You got to find that right balance, and everything's got to, the more in the flow your offense can come every possession.
From the hip.
That's going to lead to more buckets.
Yep.
Evan Burke's third three-pointer of the game. From Blackhawk Christian.
Yeah, they are going to be dynamic next year, Blackhawk Christian. Once again, great ball movement, and then finish.
And speaking of Burke, I mean, obviously he's a great player, but what a great kid. Every time I've had the opportunity to work with him in MVP, such a great kid, very coachable, respectful, looks you in the eye, wants to learn, never too good. Those are the type of guys at the next level are looking at. I mean, yes, you want a guy who's athletic, you want a guy who's skilled, but you need a guy that's coachable and a guy that's down to earth.
Yep. And Zane Burke's got some hidden athleticism. I've seen a couple jams this year, and he does have a chip on his shoulder as well. He wants to prove himself. It seems like every time he's out on the floors, he's always trying to prove himself that, hey, I am.
A little bit of that Tom Coverdale syndrome.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That is beautiful. Talk about gingers.
Man,
Tommy Coverdale.
And like we said, though, I don't care how tough you are, eventually you're going to meet your match. And Tom Coverdale met that in Juan Dixon.
No, there's no doubt about that. I mean, that Juan Dixon, he played in the league for 12 years, 13 years. I mean, he's a tremendous player. And, of course, Gary Williams wasn't a bad coach either.
Ooh, that team was loaded.
Yeah, they were. And we got to look back at that. IU was kind of lucky to get there. I mean, they were getting drilled by Duke that whole time until –
they were a team that found momentum at the right time.
The putback by Jared Jeffries and that big block, A.J. Moya on Carlos Boozer. Oh, that was it.
You're making me feel old.
I think Evan Burke got a little too quick. I think he was thinking about a jam there and just got his feet pooped up.
Dylan Fuller with the jumper.
And we broke the century mark.
Yeah, Fuller is close to 20 points now in this game. Long three-pointer.
It's a little bit off to the right.
Fuller once again through contact.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
If we can get another dunk in this game, I'll donate $1 to MVP basketball. That's about my budget as a teacher, but it's in the heart.
It's worth 3 points, so it should be $3.
Okay.
I got $1. Mo's got $1.
I think Mitch will take anything.
Might have $1.
Look at Troutman. He almost finished that. My goodness.
Yeah, those athletic guys, it just looks like things slow down when they get up in the air.
I love it. Free throws, they're everything. We need those to be made. IU basketball, for some reason, could not figure that out. So it just goes to show you can be a 3 to 5 star high major kid and still miss free throws. I don't understand it. I never will. But it happens. So, kids, practice your shot, please. Make your free throws.
And a lot of people blame that on not having confidence, at the free throw line.
Oh, yeah.
But where do you get that confidence from? From
practice.
repetition. Reps. Exactly.
So that was Preston Ross going up for that last attempt, but that's going to do it. His squad, the Jammers, win it 103-66. So that'll do it today for these guys out here on the floor. But one of these young men could still be named the MVP. We're going to send it to Mitch Sturm.
Our 3-point competitors in the finals will be Miles Good, Grayshawn Bassett, Luke McBride, Sam Campbell, Eli Maddox, Bronte Johnson, Jason Schmenk, Dakota Heitzman, Max Mormon, and Jimmy Davidson. Those were the top scorers. When we get to the skills competition, it'll be Gabe Sefton, Monty Smith, Alex Troutman, CJ Davis, and Nick Thompson. Before that, though, we got a Most Valuable Player award to give out. With 29 points, Darion Fuller is here for it.
Darion Fuller, 29 points, the MVP. Got to say, I saw that one coming early on. The kid is around the hoop, can score buckets. He's athletic as anybody else on the floor. What a performance by number 9.
Yeah, he was all over the place, and what he really did well was rebound the basketball. He put himself in the right position on the floor to make the most out of his minutes, and it led to an MVP. And that's going with some rarefied air right now. The last couple MVPs have been Jalen Blackman and Dylan Duff. So it's some proud times there.
Well, and if we'll remember, the Slammers had the lead when he first entered the game.
Right.
And next thing you knew, the Jammers took over and were up by like 16.
This year we want to pay tribute real quick. Two phenomenal teams in the Fort area. St. Paul ended up winning the National Lutheran Championship, so they got a lot of representatives here. Let's give a quick hand to all those.
Coach Sturm giving a shout out to St. Paul.
Absolutely.
We want to give a shout out to Norwell High School, who won our March Middle School
cannot forget the excellent Norwell Knights.
One game.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a little camera issue, so we're going to have to re-white balance it for you to make sure we got the clearer picture as we did in that first game. And we're getting set for our skills competition right here on MVP Basketball from Mitch Sturm.
Please come on out.
And with that, we're going to take a commercial break.
First, is here for CJ Davis, first team All-Area.
Both runners are running, play coming home.
From the crucial plays to the highlight of the game to the victory celebration, we are there. Summit City Sports isn't just a business, it's a group of companies investing in the youth of Fort Wayne athletics.
It's because of Parkview Sports Medicine, because of Kelly Automotive Group, Indiana Wesleyan University, University of St. Francis, and Big Eye Fish, that we can produce our broadcast viewed by hundreds of thousands in Northeast Indiana.
Support Summit City Sports. Become a sponsor. Join our winning team today.
Nick Thompson.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Coach Mitch Sturm out there is giving away his all-area team. This is Nick Thompson.
Our next
St.
member,
Paul.
Duncan Darion Brooks.
Darion Brooks, also from St. Paul.
Congratulations. And based on his play in the March Middle School Madness, walking away with the MVP honors of the semifinal game, and then walking away with VP finals and award. Our team captain this year is John Colbert.
So last one, there was John Colbert from Norwell. 2 St. Paul's kids, 2 Norwell kids as well, and C.J. Davis. Coach Sturm likes to give him out a jacket. I like that idea. Reminds you of Little League winning the city championship or something. You used to get a jacket with your name on it.
Yeah.
Little cool.
All these players have so many plaques and trophies throughout. It's something different.
So here you're getting to look at all of them. There's Darion Brooks in the middle. Mitch called him Duncan Darion. C.J. Davis, Luke McBride, Nick Thompson, John Colbert. John Colbert, who was the MVP for Norwell in one of their March Madness wins. Nick Thompson, also an MVP for St. Paul. Darion Brooks, a few of them. Luke McBride, who's the son of the Norwell coach, and C.J. Davis. Remember, folks, we're getting ready to bring you the skills competition.
Together this year, this group only lost a total of what? 3 games total? Forget what, they lost 1, you lost 2. So there was 70-something and 3. That's just unbelievable. Great job, guys.
Between
now
Norwell.
Time for the skills competition.
And St. Paul, 3 losses on the whole season. I mean, come on.
And for St. Paul, another national championship. All right.
Yeah, they will put in players that will be dominating high school in the very near future.
So let's see if we can't get the MVP over here. Dylan Fuller. 29 points here in this first All-Star Classic. Just an outstanding performance there. Tim, that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard to match that one right there, especially because the Jammers had such, seems like an advantage with the bigs in that game.
Yeah, it was, when they came out, the rosters were pretty, the same size, but my goodness, did them Jammers absolutely take over.
And so now joining us is going to be the MVP of the Jammers, Dylan Fuller. And great game by you in that first game, 29 points. What was working for you?
My shot was really hitting that. I didn't think I was going to hit that many. It was working for me.
How much pride do you take with running the floor and rebounding?
It means a lot.
It looked like you were all about it out there.
Yeah. I hustle a lot, and I really try to do that. I think I hustle more than a lot of people, and it works for me.
Where did you play your middle school ball at?
I play at Highland in Anderson.
Okay, so this is in Anderson. Okay. Is that where you'll be going to high school then? Is it Anderson High School? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Speak about it. We had 2 other players from Anderson as well, the Troutman.
Yes.
Eric, and what was it like playing with those guys this year?
They're really good. Eric, he can pass the ball. He's a good playmaker. And Alex, he can jump out the gym.
Yeah, Eric, it looked just as my first time seeing him play. His handles are tremendous, and Coach Zach was talking about his stop and go. His breeze is pretty nasty, and it gets defenses off balance. When you see him go into that, what is it your job then to do? Just find an open space where he can find you? Is that what you're kind of doing?
Oh, yeah. I can stand at the block. He can drive and just kick it to me because he really does that very well.
What was it like for you guys to make the first trip down here to Fort Wayne? I think you guys took on the Norwell team in that Final Four. What was that experience like for you guys?
It was really good. I think it was good for our team, and it showed us where we fit in with the other schools, and it was really good for us.
Well, I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun for us watching you play in that first game. It seemed like the rapport you guys had, just all you bigs, you guys were just crashing the boards and getting a lot of offensive rebounds and putbacks.
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations on your MVP performance. You join a lot of great basketball players that have been MVPs in this classic, so congratulations.
Yeah, we're talking Jalen Blackman, Dylan Dove, Ayanna Patterson. There are some names that have won this MVP, being an MVP for MVP. So congratulations, well deserved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So once again, that is Dylan Fuller, who's the MVP. And now we're in our skills competition here. It's number 15.
That's Nick Thompson. I'll know that Thompson face anywhere. Covered his brother Nayland Thompson for Lures.
Come on.
Nick is one heck of a player in his own right, runs point for that St. Paul team.
Right.
All right. Nick scored 21.42.
So 21.42 for Nick Thompson. Zach, C.J. Davis making the all-area team. Oops, sorry about that, Zach.
Apparently I talk too much, but he's an excellent player out of St. Paul. He does a little bit of everything, but he's a slasher. Great kid, very poised, doesn't do too much, a strong guard. I mean, he's a coach's dream, and I heard he was going to Northrop. We will see. But I know Coach Rod will really appreciate him as a Bruin if that's where he ends up.
No doubt about that.
CJ scored 22.7.
Shout out to our sponsor, Dasani. I was clearly hydrated on my restroom break. You know, in high school, they do check that.
Come on.
For real?
They do. They have a watercolor poster.
That's awesome. Who was this here we got?
I missed the name, no number on the back of the T-shirt.
That is Sefton.
Yep, that is Sefton. Oh, we thought about the jam. But I've seen guys lose the skills competition on trying to get creative with that last shot. Be simple, get it done, get your time done.
KISS. Keep it simple.
That's right.
Silly.
This is a PG-rated show, of course, ladies and gentlemen.
You could tune in for Summit City After Dark following this game.
That's on Zach Welkin's Twitter account.
That's Facebook.
That is very true.
This is Alex Troutman now. That last score was 25.37 for Sefton.
Come on, let's get the big finish. Come on.
Troutman, who looked like he was probably the most speedy.
Oh!
Is that going to mess up his time?
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
All in.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, if you're going to win it with a bang.
Man.
So he's 1 for 3 on his dunks tonight.
The rim is winning.
It is. Today it is.
Gravity is winning.
Well, they were due after what Sidney Curry did. I mentioned it before, but what he did to the rims in Fort Wayne, Indiana, my gosh. I know they're going to have to do some checks, maintenance. Going to have to do some checks.
The warehouse had to get a few replacements.
There's no doubt.
And this is number 18.
Monty Smith out of Miami, the Wayne feeder. He will be at Wayne next year after talking to his dad. He's a dual sport kid, but he said he wasn't sure if he was going to continue to play football. So we will see.
How could you say no to Derek Moore and the Generals?
Well, I know Coach Moore would love him. He's a quarterback, dual threat. But it just seems like any more kids are not as attracted to football like they were.
So Nick Thompson's going to win it with the 21.42 time, just ahead of C.J. Davis, who was at 22.07.
And surprise, what school is he from?
St. Paul.
Shocker.
Actually,
yeah, they mentioned it when you were taking your little potty break there, Zach, that Norwell and St. Paul, 3 losses combined, those two teams, the whole year. 3 losses, that's it.
Yeah, and they were not playing school of the, well, I shouldn't finish that. That's not.
We get your point.
Okay.
Yes.
St. Mary's of the Poor.
That's bad. Yes, I like that. But yeah, I mean, they played outstanding, just like Blackhawk Christian does out of 1A.
And they pride themselves. Like St. Paul, one of the biggest things that their coach does is they schedule a lot of games. You know, those kids love it. They're not just fill-in games. They're big-time games, and they want to play the best to be the best.
Well, that one loss was in Peoria, Illinois, right, in the semifinal game?
Oh, yeah.
Where they came back and beat the doors off the next team. So now we got our 3-point competition.
And you know what? I'm very proud of Brayshawn Bassett for making the three-point contest. Not that he can't shoot, but shooting is not his strongest point. So that shows he either got really lucky or he's worked on his skills, and he's putting in the work. He's another kid, lives in the gym. He'll hit up anyone to get shots up. Very high ceiling. One of those kids that grew super early, but he realized, as kids have started to pass up or even come even with him, skills are everything. So he's a kid who recognized his strengths, but also recognized potential weaknesses, and he's capitalized on them. And sky's the limit for that kid. He's another one where everybody's wanting to know, where's Brayshawn going to go to high school?
I got to tell you, Mitch was excited when he was putting together this year's Madness, saying, I got Bassett from Memorial and Brooks from St. Paul coming in, so it's going to be a great another March Madness.
And his older brother, Brandon Johnson, is a Cougar, St. Francis. Shout out to the Cougs.
Yeah, really excited about the young Cougs maturing, getting college strong. Jalen Mall, what an end of the season he had, the Black Hawk Christian Star.
Oh, man. We're very excited about him at St. Francis. He's continuing to improve each day. Great kid. You cannot teach his first step. He can go coast to coast in the blink of an eye. He can lock you up. He slowly got more comfortable as the season went on, and it's going to be a bright future for him.
And it was Brandon Johnson who really saw the first good minutes for USF.
Yeah.
This year, just his ability to rebound.
Oh, and what a freshman class with Jeff Reynolds and Antoine Cushenberry out of the Warren Central High School. I mean, speed galore, skill galore, and unfortunately, that's not going to cut it, in terms of the Crossroads League. You can't just be skilled and fast. You got to have it all. And, we had a solid season. We're looking for improvement next year, but everybody's loaded in the Crossroads. Shout out to Spring Arbor, national champions. Yep. And Brandon Durnell.
Brandon Durnell, one of those outstanding Fort Wayne basketball products. Just loves everything about Fort Wayne. Represents the 260 as best as you can. And, he comes back whenever he gets a chance. I've seen him at more high school games this year. The kid loves going back to his alma mater in Homestead to support his kids. He helps Chase Sanders in the TPE program in AAU. He's just one of those that we've grown to know and love that have produced, and Brandon Durnell is one of them.
It's kind of wild when you look at their All-American point guard, Paul Marindet. So you got your two best players from their team come from the state of Indiana. Makes you kind of wonder, hey, guys.
Well, and it looks like, you see more and more going.
Yeah, you really do.
Well, yeah, and 2 years ago, 3 out of the 4 teams in the NAIA Final Four were from Indiana. IU East, St. Francis, and Indiana Wesleyan.
And Wesleyan won it.
Absolutely, unfortunately.
Yeah, and they had IU East had Thomas, who was from Northrop, Aaron Thomas.
They also had, the year before they had Jacoby Claypool from Northrop, and they also had, he went to Harding. Oh, Lord, I know I'm going to think of it. Very good player.
Harding, we're going back.
Well, it was in that era where they switched to New Haven. Dominique Williams. Very good player.
Did he play with Beecham?
I believe Beecham was a freshman.
Okay.
He's older.
Okay.
This is Brashawn Bassett now.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to do one of his MVP games a couple of months ago, and he was one of the most impressive players on the floor.
That was the St. Paul game, correct?
Yes, he was tremendous. He can do everything. And as you see right now, Zach, it looks like his stroke looks pretty clean.
It's
right
really
now.
good. He never had a bad shot. It's just clearly more consistent.
Gotcha.
And you can see his touch is really well, which comes from repetition. And like I said, there's no doubt he has not put the work in.
14.
It's that 14 right now. Moneyball.
Looked very confident, too. And again, confidence comes from hard work.
So Brashawn Bassett's going to take the lead there with 19. Is that right? Is that Moneyball with 4 points?
Yes. Again, Mitch loves to make things exciting.
Yeah.
He called me and said, should I add this? Would it make it more fun? I said, Mitch, go with your instinct.
Yeah. It's worked so far. My gosh.
This is Maddox, I believe.
Oh, he can flat out stroke it.
Eli Maddox.
He's got textbook form. But that always does not translate. I've seen some great form shooters that don't always shoot it that consistent.
And the opposite end of the spectrum, and one of the best shooters in the history of the NBA, Reggie Miller, had probably the worst shooting stroke in the history of the world.
Very unorthodox.
But it was the same stroke every single time. So if you can perfect it, you can perfect it.
How about Tayshaun Prince?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Out of Kentucky.
Lonzo Ball. Oh, I hate saying that.
That's not allowed to be said on any of our broadcasts.
But, Lord, he had a funky form.
There's no doubt. It's still there, too, unfortunately.
Who was the guy that shot the free throw? Was it Sean Marion where he flicked it?
Sean, yeah, he came up and it looked like a little,
little T-Rex short arm.
Yeah, exactly. Then you go all the way back to Bill Cartwright. If you have not seen Bill Cartwright shoot, Google him. It is the funniest thing you'll ever see. It's a two-shot, two-hand. Oh, it's like he's holding the moon.
And this is it Jaden Schmeck out of Harding? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
Well, that sounds about right. I'm just looking for him on the roster here.
Yeah, Jordan Schmeck.
Oh, Jordan. My apologies.
There he is. So it was Maddox who had 16 points. Bassett's in the lead with 19.
I was talking with him earlier. He says he's going to Northrop as well, another Bruin.
Ooh. And they got some good youngsters out there. Kamani Smith, a sophomore.
Oh, yeah.
And, the younger White.
Jaden Billingsley, Tehran.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they're loaded.
Now, of course,
no pressure.
Yeah, well, it's going to be so hard to replace the big ticket. I mean, Sid Vicious is.
Looking into next year, my favorite is Homestead. You just cannot deny Goody, and obviously great point guard play, and Zach. But Southside has a lot of talent.
Love JT Langston Jr.
Obviously, Snyder's got some talent.
Yep.
I mean, JT Langston's doing the high jump now.
Good for him.
We'll see how that works out.
Good for him.
But yeah, I mean, it's.
Well, Blackhawk Christian as well, obviously, but I'm just talking SAC.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, the improvement of Dylan Duff and Michael Ely over this AAU season.
That's his 16th.
Will be determining
17th.
how Snyder does. They found Jermaine Woods. Jermaine Woods came along very, very nicely. They lost a couple kids to transfer, but they weren't originally, Snyder kids. Carson Jenkins, a freshman that played last year.
Where's he at now?
Carson Jenkins?
Is he still at Snyder?
He's at Snyder. Yep. Yeah, the ones that transferred out was Preston Barker, who went back to Homestead, their original. And then there was one, that started, the freshman. Gosh, what was the freshman's name for?
Oh, Jalen Lattimore.
Thank you.
He's now at Southside.
He's at Southside, correct.
Yeah, he played for me at Maplewood.
Yeah, he's one of those who's got a middle linebacker.
He was a grown man in third grade.
He was huge.
He looked like it last year, the biggest, strongest guy on the floor. Well, Dylan Duff.
I mean, it was funny because when I had him at Maplewood, we won back-to-back city titles with him, and then he went to Tolles and won back-to-back city titles. I mean, he's just been a grown man.
Tolles, that's another school that's been putting out just tremendous basketball. Ashton Johnson comes off the top of my head there at Southside.
Donnie Moore at Northside.
Yep.
It goes, the list goes on and on.
So Mormon's going to finish with 12 points. Hitzman was 17, so Bassett's still in the lead with 19.
I'm liking that. Everybody in double digits.
Oh, Miles
that's
good.
Beautiful. Usually you see one guy come on. Hopefully I'm not speaking too soon. But,
No, this kid's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't look at that first stroke. I don't think I could be all right talking about that.
Well, you know who he learned his form from?
Who's that?
Steve Alford. He's talking to his dad and was talking about that's where all his form comes from. So
really?
Not a bad shooting mentor.
No kidding. One of the best in the state of Indiana in all time.
And if you watch, he's got that compact shot with the guide hand right there. Keeps it tight.
Uh-oh.
Not a ton of rotation on the ball either.
No, he does not have a lot of rotation.
It's all about this money ball.
Oh, clutch. That was 20.
Oh, my.
He got Bassett on that last shot.
And how about that? Bassett going over there showing him some love.
So that's Miles Good there putting up 20.
Man. 7th grader.
And, of course, his dad, the head coach at Manchester?
Yes. He's
Manchester
he's a
University.
7th grader.
My goodness.
This is the Norwell shooting legend.
McBride.
This kid gets up more shots than probably any kid in the state. He's got great rotation.
Look at that, yeah. That's like butter coming off his fingers. My goodness.
A kid like him is when someone from out of the state just says, he's got to be from Indiana.
Yeah, there ain't no doubt
That's
about
an Indiana shooter.
He's sitting with 11 points right now.
Man, him and Ryan Klein have some similarities. Man, that guy could shoot for Purdue.
This shot kind of reminds me of Matt Roth a little bit. IU great.
Yes.
Who's now an official in the state of Indiana.
He needed that.
But that wasn't lack of being good. That was just sometimes you don't get the bounce.
Whew. Not a lack of being good. And definitely wasn't good enough to pass good.
Oh, I see what you did there. That was pretty tremendous.
I like a little subtle approach.
Yeah, Zach will be here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
I might have to leave a little early.
Oh, shit, I
shouldn't have said that, Mitch. I will be here all night.
So we're looking for Jimmy Davidson.
Ken flat out, stroke it.
He's getting a conversation with Dad right now, a little pep talk probably. Dad just came out of the weight room. Has his 5-pound lunchbox with him, meal prep and everything. You talk about a strong, that's one guy as a ref I would not mess with.
No, walk the other way. Walk the other way.
I've seen some of his videos when he does competitions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he could lift up a car.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Mark Davidson, the head coach of Blackhawk Christian.
Hardcore lifter.
Yeah, he's a strong man, does strongman competitions. He probably needs to do that just to handle all of his sons that he has and children.
Can you imagine the grocery bill?
Oh, just his or the whole family?
Just his. No, the people laugh about what, he's a PE teacher at Blackhawk Christian.
Right.
He does a little bit of elementary and high school, and they say his lunchbox is literally like a giant cooler. Unbelievable, the preparation. Not only as a coach.
That's dedication.
So that was Bronte Johnson finishing it up there, and Miles Good is your 3-point champion. Last year's 3-point champion was it Michael Ely?
No, that would have been 2 years ago.
And he was the skills 2016. Jalen Blackman won it. Imagine that.
Yep.
Skills competition 2017 was Michael Ely. So Miles Good, once again, just a 7th grader, huh? One more year?
Just a 7th grader, yes. His 6th grade year, he was at Woodside. So he lives in the Homestead area. I'm not saying that's where he's going for high school, but can never go wrong with Coach Johnson.
Yeah, he is. The way I kind of put it in terms of people that don't know or don't follow Homestead is Homestead has a college basketball coach coaching high school, and he is tremendous. He gets the most out of his players every single year, and when he has that top-level talent, he's going to win.
Oh,
he's going to win big, going back to Swan again.
Well, it's funny because I always notice he has note cards on the sideline, so I asked Brandon Ernell, I said, what is that? And he goes, well, Coach Johnson's such a perfectionist, but he gets nervous, and he keeps all his plays and different things on there just in case he would forget, so he's always prepared. How about that?
Been coaching for 25 years.
I said, he's nervous? But you know what? When you think about the ultimate competitor, you always have a little bit of that anxiety in because you want to be the best. If you don't have that, then you don't care.
Perfectionists got to do what they got to do to get the job done, and that's his thing.
Preparation, hard work. Shout out to Nipsey.
So once again, Brashawn Bassett with 19 points. It was Miles Good winning the 3-point competition with 20 points. And now we have game 2 getting ready to start here. This has got Darion Brooks on the black team, which is the shooters, and the rim wreckers. So we'll change this up real quick.
Talent galore. Look for an exciting game. Like you said, Darion Brooks, Bronte Johnson, the Big Red Bolin from Norwell, just to name a few. Loads of talent. And in this game, you're going to see a lot of Fort Wayne Community School kids.
Taylor University and getting ready for his 3rd year at Huntington men's basketball. Our next assistant coach is.
So right now we're just going over the
and now the Dean of Coaching.
assistant coaches.
Tazzy.
There you got Dean Pantazzi. That was Josh Rakonen.
The local legend.
Our next coach is big with Indiana.
And the next is Jason Jordan.
Josh Ford.
Jason Jordan, former Northrop Bruin who went on to play at Davenport, had a great career.
Now the players. Number 7, Leighton Bailey. Number 17, Keon Bates. Number 31, Darion Brooks. Number 48, Jim Cressman. Number 41, Jake Goody. Number 19, Luke Kraft. Number 39, Grant Hayworth. Number 21, Bronte Johnson. Number 24, Jadis Langston. Number 18, White Ruddle. Number 2, Marquette Lee. Number 14, Alex Leslie. Number 22, Will Lucas.
Turnover on the play.
My bad.
Number 1, Adrian Bacon. Number 4, Joe Robinson.
JoJo Robinson on the Blackhawks.
Correct. Another Northrop Bruin. I'm noticing a trend here.
There's a bit of a trend, Zach.
You know, the big name here is Darion Brooks. Where is he going to go? I've heard Northrop. I've heard Lures. I've heard Blackhawk Christian. I've even heard Homestead.
Blackhawk Christian?
Yes. The point is, nobody knows. So why ask?
Right.
Wait and see.
Yeah.
Great kid, great talent. Wherever he's at, he's going to do great.
Our next team, the head coach of the Manchester University, Jared Good.
Jared Good's got to be feeling pretty good right now, just watching his son win the 3-point.
Trying to get his first win in MVP basketball, Glenn Marini. Ortho Community School, longtime coach and a great guy, Mike Wallace. Now our players, number 14, Delmon Alexander. Number 8, Kenny Austin. Number 32, Brayshawn Bassett. The big man, 35, Brody Boland. Number 17, Jamarcus Crawford.
Hey, a former Maplewood Eagle.
Number 31, John Colbert.
Excellent football player.
Number 12, C.J. Davis.
C.J.
Number
Davis.
22, Amir Flood. Number 3, Nick Gallagher. Number 1, Miles Good. Number 41, Trey Heitschuh. Number 15, Jaden Hill. Number 33, Ivan Hood. Number 36, Brent Leeper. Number 19, Luke McBride. Number 18, Monty Smith. Number 9, O'Marion Washington. And number 38, Tony Wiley. Here we go.
The pride of DeKalb.
Big boy.
Well, I'll tell you what, one name to keep an eye out for is number 31, John Colbert from Norwell. He had a heck of a March Madness for their squad here in the MVP Classic.
Versatile.
Yeah, he was the MVP, I think, in his second game there. Kept driving the baseline and finishing.
Gritty.
So he'll
keep going.
He'll be a fun one to look out for. Obviously, Darion Brooks right there in the center. Going to tip off with Brody Bolin.
Brody Bolin, the wide body of Norwell.
Brody's a swimmer, a shot putter, discus, first baseman, pitcher, left tackle.
Horseback rider.
And horseback rider.
And honor roll student.
Brooks is locked in for this one. And possession going to go to the white squad, the Rim Wreckers. That's Bolin up top of the key. He's going to be guarded by Brooks. In these classics, primarily just man-to-man defense?
Yeah, you're not going to try to have guys covering zones. It's going to be it'd be way too tough. Playing a zone defense takes so much communication on the defensive side by your teammates. As you see Nick Thompson doing a little MJ impression on you, coming out from the backside, knocking it away. Couldn't get the steal, but it'll stay there with the Rim Wreckers.
And that's one of those where the ball was kind of low at his hip and he was able to get a hand on it. You said you want to keep it high as a big man.
There's no doubt about it. Once you bring it low, then you're playing the same size as everybody small on the floor.
I see lots of smiles, a little talk. They clearly know each other. Eventually those smiles will go away and it's going to get a little more chippy. I can guarantee it.
No doubt.
Well, that was Trey Heitshaw, number 41 with the rock. That'll get deflected right back. That was Goody with the kick. Rebounded by Thompson. Nice bounce pass. Hard time with the handles for number 21 in black.
Excellent dribble drive by Brooks, unable to finish. A little clever kick there by Keon Bates out of Kikiyanga. Another one that said he's going to Northrop.
Well, Northrop, they should have two good teams next year.
I think Coach Jay's been doing some work. I don't know.
Who?
I don't even know who we're talking about.
Okay.
Still nodded.
But we talked about that earlier. If you're not recruiting, you're not trying.
I'm not commenting.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I'd rather be honest and say it how it is. I know I got in a little trouble a couple years ago when I said something about Shabazz being the best recruiter in the city of Fort Wayne. I got a little hate on that, but I stand by that.
Probably
he obviously was.
You know what they say? Some of the best recruiters, they know who to know and they know who to have on their staff.
There is no doubt.
CJ Davis with a nice putback. He's everywhere. He's going to get threes, putbacks, mid-range. He's a coach's dream.
But you like that down the block. Bolin made the decision to go up and win up with it. Now it's going to be Brooks heading to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Brooks has that stick-to-itiveness. If there is no opening, he will find a way to get the shot up, and it's not a selfish thing. He just knows how to get to the basket. He's active, and he's a defender's worst nightmare because he's going to eventually get you to foul him, and he's going to find the seam. I love that about him. When we did our March Madness games earlier, he just seemed to always find an opening. He's just very aggressive in a good way.
Yeah, and like another one of those guys that just fills up the stat sheets. It's kind of neat because he's making his own name for himself.
Oh, no question.
No longer just Keon's little brother. Bolin down low. Look for the pass out. That was intercepted. We're going the other direction.
Good block. That was C.J. Davis. Just fouling it up and came with the block. That was tremendous.
Ashanti Johnson tracks down the rebound. Goody. Oh, excuse me. That was number...
tough catch.
Kenny Austin with the tough pass, but Bolin catches it and finishes.
How in the heck did he just do that? That was pretty.
If there's a big man to pass to in a sketchy way, Bolin's going to be the guy that can catch it. You know what I mean? Most big men don't have that type of coordination.
That was going to be fumbled, no doubt about it.
There's Bolin right there from 15 feet. Good ball movement.
Haichu with the tough shot.
Fadeaway just misses. Kept alive. And finally coming down with it, number 15 in black, Nick Thompson. Brooks not scared to bang down low with Bolin.
No.
Nice finish with the right.
That's going to be a fun matchup.
Yes. Brooks only giving up maybe 112 pounds. And Bolin has some good length, too.
He does.
Nice swat. And Bolin, heads up kid, just followed the play.
Keep it simple.
It was a nice block by Thompson down low. It's Bolin with the rebound.
Kenny Austin really pushing the issue, looking to get out in open space. Coach Johnson's got to be excited to see him coming to Homestead.
Oh, no doubt about that.
We covered, was it the Woodside St. Charles game? Same thing where Kenny Austin was the MVP
over.
of that game.
Yeah, he did it all. Very composed, very poised, calm, mild-mannered kid, but he can turn it on.
All he plays is basketball. Said he might run track, but all he does is basketball right now.
I'm sure whatever he does, he will succeed at it.
Thompson, like that might have been deflected
and
from
look
behind.
At Brooks being
Beautiful
active.
job. Just staying with it. And he just does that all and does it all the time.
Just in the few games I've covered with him, I'm a believer.
Oh,
I mean,
most
there's
definitely.
always room for improvement. You got to stay hungry, but some coach is going to be lucky to have him.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I've seen him progress just in this spring from the three games I've seen him play. He's gotten better every time I've seen him play.
Well, that means he's putting in the work, and there's no doubt he's not.
That was Jaden Hill, number 15 in white.
That's my ball right there, Tim.
I thought you had quicker hands than that. I was going to step back and let it happen. I was like, oh, Zach ain't going to get to it. I was wrong, though.
I clearly was not a lockdown corner.
Too big of ankles.
Kenny Austin's shot just right off the mark.
I actually pride myself on my ankles. Thank you very much. I do have very big calves, though, if you wanted to know. Lots of power in these legs.
You can feed a family on them dad calves, no doubt.
Easy, killer, easy.
So there's the stoppage for the mandatory substitution.
My leg press was nothing short of impressive. Fortunately, that did not translate to the bunnies.
The vert still stayed the same.
Excellent drive, Monty Smith.
With the floater.
The Miami Indian.
I'll tell you what, a little bit of a slower start to this game as opposed to game number 1. Three-pointer just left short by Jadis Langston.
And these kids, you got to think they have been sitting watching the previous game after doing the skills competition for most of them, three-point competition, then had to wait. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll get going. Good luck.
And the drive from the wing, that was number 38 in white, Donnie Wiley.
You know, two of the teams, I think the three teams with the most players in this game are Norwell, St. Paul, and Memorial Park, and I see 5 Memorial Park kids in this game alone. Obviously, St. Paul has 5 or 6, and I'm assuming Norwell has about that same. But again, think of this. This is a area all-star game, and some of these teams have 3, 4, 5, 6 players. I mean, that just speaks volumes of your team. Some teams would be happy to have 1 or 2.
Yeah, there's no question.
Put back. That was a great rebound by number 33, Ivan Hood. Three-pointer off the heel. And we got a possession.
That's going to stay at that end. That was great aggression by number 48 in black, Jackson Chrisman. Didn't watch the play, came over and almost got him a deflection out of bounds for his team.
Excellent drive by Amarion Washington. Unable to finish. That's been the theme of the day.
And a nice steal. Washington with the finish.
The pride of Kikianga Middle School.
11-5 our score.
You know what I love about that? He didn't get his head down. He stayed active, and he got his bucket back.
Boys and Girls Club shooters ball out of bounds.
That's amazing, all these kids going to Leo. You know, they have one of the best young players that I saw all year in DJ Allen.
Oh, yeah.
He's a 6'8", 6'9", can shoot the ball from outside, but doesn't pretend to be a guard or anything. Watch out for the name DJ Allen for Leo, and he gets more and more players around him. He's just going to keep blossoming.
Basket by
I believe that's, well, I don't know if that was a Norwell product, but that basket before that was by Norwell Knight.
Yeah, that was Graft, Luke Graft. Back-to-back buckets here by the Shooters. Shooters currently down by 2. Opportunity to tie this game up.
The big fella.
Jackson Crispin going to head to the free throw line. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot from DeKalb lately too. Strong sophomore class, going to be juniors next year.
Yes, I've heard about that as well. And the thing about it is, it's not just them. The sophomore class in general in Fort Wayne and the surrounding area is insane with talent. Nayland Thompson, Zane Burke, Marcus Davidson at Blackhawk Christian, state title winners. Kamani Smith at Northrop, Sam Stricker. The list goes on and on. There's so many tough sophomores. Michael Ely, of course. But yeah, I mean, sophomore class is tremendous.
Good steal by Jadis Langston.
You know what's tremendous? Your ability to use the word tremendous.
It is.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's such a good word.
Yeah, I tremendously overuse it, but
I'm not mad about it because you find a way to make it work. And it's almost like your thing.
If I have a thing, sure. I'd love to have a thing.
I watch you enough that
that's the thing. Okay.
I know you love it.
Good. Yes, that is one.
Not quite as much as Dickie V loves Baby.
No.
That was Nick Gallagher bringing it up right now for the White Squad.
And I don't know why you're putting Dick in my category anyway, Zach. That's
he's got
a step below.
Yeah, I would agree.
Maybe just a half-step travel there, not called.
You know what? It's an all-star game, baby.
Let him go.
Let him go.
That was Washington with the three-point attempt, just off the mark.
This game, I'm noticing a little more trapping, a little more choppy flow. They'll get settled in here, but again, that comes with the mass substitution, so you're going to get all types of different.
Big block by Ivan Hood.
Oh, my goodness.
And just stepping on the baseline there was Leighton Bailey. I don't know. I don't think you can match the bigs from that game one on the Black Squad.
My guy Tim gets it. He gets it.
Oh, great rebound that time. And I think that's a leaper right there. No, it wasn't. I know there's a leaper in this game. Andrew Leaper, the older brother out of St. Vincent's, who went to Homestead instead of going to Dwenger. And that's just another freshman big that Coach Chris Johnson is going to have next year, and Andrew Leaper. And yes, Grant Leaper, wearing number 36 in white.
The putback from the DeKalb Baron.
And he was the one that started that offense. He was the one that got the rebound and pushed it up. And he didn't stop running. He fouled it all the way to the other side and got himself rewarded by a little bucket.
Amarion Washington is everywhere. I love it.
Just lost the handle going up that time.
Great feed. Oh, I love unselfish basketball. It's the best.
So easy to watch.
Oh, a little kiss from the big man, and he gets the arrow out, and he throws up the tray. Gotta love it.
Yes.
He might need a little bit of a break here after that celebration.
That was Jackson Crispin. Yeah, the big fella loved the triple.
I hope he plays football.
Oh, it's got to be 100%.
He looks like a D tackle. All right, I'm going to stop. Focus on basketball.
So the Rim Wreckers 15-14 here at the Spies Fieldhouse. Ooh, nice defense. That was number 19 in black, Luke Graft.
Jadis Langston, the Memorial Park product,
nice.
Brother of JT Langston, takes it coast to coast for the finish.
tell you, with all these Black Hawk Christian middle schoolers in this, well, I guess both these games in this classic, I believe they lost the game.
Man, that's another school with a ton of talent.
Of course, they did lose to St. Paul and Darion Brooks. Falling away.
Push off.
That baseline jumper was good by Monty Smith. So that's going to do it for, I guess,
the first 10 minutes.
Half of the
first 10 minutes, we'll call it. That's more quarters, yeah.
Hey, you know what I'm noticing is pink shoes seem to be in. There was a player for Kentucky in March Madness that wore them. I cannot think of his name, but that seems to be the trend.
Yeah.
Well, that's just what kind of amazes me. That was number 18, Langston Level, the running back that's going into Snyder.
He's strong.
You talk about a grown man. A lot of those guys, and it's not just at Snyder, they're already over there in 8th grade. You know, they're already working out with the high school teams. They're lifting. He's one of them. I'm sure Coach Tippner.
Snyder's always had the best off-season weight and conditioning program.
That summer conditioning with Coach Isaacs is no joke. And the ones that don't make it.
Speaking of the accessories, though, the pink shoes and all that, obviously with breast cancer awareness, but I remember growing up, we never had accessories.
No, and your options were not the same. See, I grew up in the early 2000s era where your point guard and your center would fight over the extra large shorts.
Right.
Now everybody wants to roll them up like we're in 1960.
That was Marquette Lee with the finish on the other end.
Oh, we got some of those in the SAC. One comes to mind perfectly is Michael Ely.
Oh, good Lord.
Put back. That was Leaper, number 36.
It's just everything's different. You know, I think of some of my jerseys, they were so heavy. Now it's like you're barely wearing anything.
And the jersey's extra tight.
Oh, they're breathable mesh and this and nylon that. You know, back in the day, you were burning up in the jerseys. I say that like I'm old. I graduated in 2010.
Triple tries good by number 22, Amir Flood, rocking the pink snakes.
Amir Flood.
Good defense there by, that was Colbert from Norwell.
Very physical game.
I was going to say, much more than the first one. But once again, I just feel like
And again, we talked about different styles of basketball. We're seeing it. Yeah. And not one is better than the other, but they're just different styles, and it comes from what type of systems these kids come from.
Big shot by Delman Alexander.
Excellent drive by Marquette Lee, but he's unable to finish.
Rim record still up here, 25-19. Good outlet pass.
Oh, good touch pass.
Oh, looking for the 3 points there was Langston Level.
I'd say he needs to stick to layups.
Not quite there yet.
No, I appreciate the effort, though.
Absolutely.
And the sideburns.
We saw that from
gloriousness.
Jake Goody.
Good help defense.
Zach, earlier this year, it was Goody that nearly threw one down against St. Charles, wasn't it?
It was. And again, you know, the effort was there. These guys aren't afraid to fail. That's why they're good.
Will Lucas shot off the mark. That three-pointer this time is no good by Flood.
Good board by Jamarcus Crawford. He stays active, gets the putback. Does it surprise you that he's a cornerback? Excellent defense.
He just rebounded over the top right there. That was great.
Langston Level. He's not scared to shoot it.
Back-to-back buckets by Blackhawk FWCS, not Christian products. And now, right now, we got two Blackhawk guys going at it. Marquette Lee and Jamarcus Crawford. So you see the clapping going.
And one. Oh, number 36, Grant Leaper with a tremendous finish and foul.
Leaper, doesn't matter. It was a great finish. At least you corrected yourself.
Unfortunately, it happens too often.
Leaper, we can only assume he's going to be heading to Homestead?
You would assume that since his older brother did go there, for his freshman year.
We would assume, but you know what they say about people who assume.
Yeah. Actually, I don't. Could you tell us? God.
Not until after dark.
Check your local pay-per-view channels.
Tune in live to Zach Wolf on Facebook. You can find it if you search Zachary James Welflin.
So that was Adrian Macon who had that ball swiped away from him. Now it's an inbounds pass here for the shooters.
Not to get off topic, but if you don't follow Tim Atkinson on social media, you are losing. Same with Jeff Mahoney. Do yourself a favor and bless yourself. Hit the add button, hit the follow button. They will accept it.
Alex Leslie with the bomb. 30-25. Rim wreckers. There's Colbert. That's what he does. I don't know how. Just finds an opening there driving baseline.
Mr. Do-It-All. Marquette Lee with the leak out basket.
Now we're getting some pace to this game a bit.
Much closer game than what we had in game number 1.
I'm seeing some heavy breathing, but again, that just goes to show the type of game. We got nothing but pressure.
Oh, just lost his footing there, unfortunate.
That was Macon coming up with the loose ball. Three-pointer knocks it down. Will Lucas.
The Woodside product.
Hey, and all of a sudden they're back within 2. Answered.
Nothing. But the bottom of the net for Alexander.
What middle school is he from? Northwood?
I don't have it down. Don't remember seeing him in the March Madness.
I want to say he's from Northwood, across from Bishop Dwenger.
Isn't that where Deshaun Thomas went to middle school?
The pride of Deshaun Thomas won back-to-back city championships in 2004-5 and 5-6, along with Ty Tubbs and Josh Woods. Boy, talk about a throwback, Ty Tubbs. He had a good career in football at Moorside.
It's 41. Jake Goody now on the floor for the shooters in black. Rashawn Bassett in for the rim wreckers.
Rumor is there is a rim at Northcrest Elementary that's bent from when Deshaun went there and was grabbing rim.
Still bent.
Still bent.
Well, no other kids are going to be touching it. Holy gosh.
Gotta love it.
Of course, Deshaun Thomas having a tremendous career overseas.
Oh, very humble kid, down to earth, did it right.
Of course, went to Ohio State.
Was drafted by the Spurs. Played in a few games with him.
Quick spin move down on the block by Leaper.
With the screen.
Now it's Bassett with the handles here for the team in white, the rim wreckers. Triple try for Bassett. Bottom of the net.
Excellent drive by JoJo Robertson, a future Northrop Bruin. How many of those have I said?
47.
Three-pointer off the mark by Rashawn Bassett. That was a good save on the baseline there by number 5 in black, Darion Woods.
Oh, nice finish. They needed that one badly.
That's Jordan Schmick there. We saw him in the three-point competition.
Starting point guard to the line.
Colbert comes down with it for the rim wreckers. And that's McBride running the point.
He does a very good job of being patient, finding the seam. He's not going to out-quick you, but it never bothers him. He finds a way to get the job done.
That's Grant Leaper with the putback there for the rim wreckers, up 40-34.
Good defensive footwork that time by Bissett. Vaughn had it knocked away, comes back outside.
That's two in a row there for Schmeck. Did a great job finding the cup.
I got to say that Vaughn probably plays football. He's out of Shawnee. starting to see a little bit of standing around, a little bit of that syndrome of staring at the ball. I don't know if it's because of fatigue.
And maybe it's 9 o'clock. They've probably been here since 5.
Yeah, they're worried about Snapchatting their girlfriend. The bank is open still at 8:56.
It's not closing today at Speed.
Is that JoJo Robinson for 3?
Oh, what a look.
McBride comes back out to Bassett.
You see the way my bank account is set up, I got a checking and a savings.
Is that how that works?
Shout out to Kevin Hart.
It's Bassett with the long rebound. Put back another for Leaper.
Kids, run the floor. You never know. Do not count that it's going to happen. You can pick up 4-6 points a game just on hustle points.
JoJo Robertson not afraid of the contact. Gets bumped a little bit, but he put up a fight. Refs doing a tremendous job letting the boys play, but at the same time keeping control. Shout out to the refs or officials.
Ooh, good job by Vaughn there tracking it down.
Game 2 officials are Marvin Patterson, Shane Salisbury, and Marcus Hill. An outstanding job being done.
Step back by Bassett. Jeez. Knocks it down.
His checking account is clearly.
He is so smooth.
He's got the black card, unlimited range.
Yeah.
JoJo. I'll tell you, Bassett looks like he can already play high school ball, just with his size and everything.
Reminds me a little bit of Jalen Lattimore, maybe a little bit more athletic.
Yeah, Lattimore looks a little thicker.
Yeah, he's a little shorter,
Vaughn.
not as thick as Lattimore, but has probably a quicker first step.
JoJo Robinson finding Vaughn down low. Leaper's going to be fouled.
Good find, though, to Leaper. And Bassett just getting in where he wants to. Leaper rolling right to the cup, hands up. That was the other thing. He had his hands chest digh, not down below, ready to receive that pass.
And speaking of who we were talking about from Lalamere, he's here, the stud himself.
Darion Brooks Jr. in the house.
And not only that, his teammate.
And there is Isaiah Stewart on the left side of our screen, left side of the court.
So Leaper will finish the second, 46-41, Rimwreckers on top. Schmeck then guarded by McBride.
He's a tough kid, no doubt.
That's a 6-point in limited minutes play.
Yeah, Schmeck has been tremendous.
Bassett with the black card,
threes.
instant access, unlimited range.
Just called it, too. Couldn't answer.
He's hungry. He wants another one.
You can see it in his face.
Knocks it down.
Unconscious. It's the man bun.
Who's feeling better than Brashawn Bassett?
Oh, man.
And he's loving it, too. He's eating up the excitement here from the crowd.
Oh, good steal on the help defense.
Oh, great pass. Great patience.
Oh, thought we were going to get 3 then.
Rejection.
Bassett just threw it in the workout room.
And all he could do was laugh, and they shook hands. What else do you do?
What else? 2 seconds. Nope, they didn't start the clock.
I think Brashawn Bassett wants that MVP trophy, but Darion Brooks might have something else to say. We will see. We got a half full of action coming up.
I don't know, so far, Bassett's the man. That stretch right there was pretty impressive with 3 made three-pointers.
He almost looked like me there for a stretch. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, taking a drink on the bench.
I'm going to go take another potty break. Remember, stay thirsty. Proud sponsor, Dasani. Always gets us right.
Let's take a quick break here, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set for our second half. You're watching MVP basketball right here from SummitCitySports.com.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Both runners are running. Play coming home.
From the crucial plays to the highlight of the game to the victory celebration, we are there. Summit City Sports isn't just a business. It's a group of companies investing in the youth of Fort Wayne athletics.
It's because of Parkview Sports Medicine, because of Kelly Automotive Group, Indiana Wesleyan University, University of St. Francis, and Big Eye Fish, that we can produce our broadcast viewed by hundreds of thousands in Northeast Indiana.
Support Summit City Sports. Become a sponsor. Join our winning team today. Welcome back in here to the MVP Basketball All-Star Classic. This is the middle school boys with the rim wreckers up 54-43. Coming off an impressive run there by Brashawn Bassett, hitting 3 3-pointers in a span of 2.5 minutes. So we'll see if the shooters can come back with the answer here in the second half.
Sorry, Jeff. Yeah, he's an outstanding player. He can do everything. Once he gets even a little bit more confidence, which is kind of a scary thought for him to have more confidence. I mean, he's going to be one of the best freshmen coming in next year in the city of Fort Wayne.
Yeah, and he attempted that dunk like he was getting ready to throw it down. So you can tell he's done that before. Just a matter of time before we got more highlights for you on SummitCitySports.com.
That's right.
So it's Brody Bolin going to jump here to start the second half.
Shout out to Shane Salisbury. Excellent ref. Coming over here showing us love. You show me love, I show love back. I have no hate in my blood.
And that was number 39, Grant Hayworth with the tip.
And Kenny Austin finishes.
Heck of a start.
He's had a nice game as well.
Yes.
Bounce pass gets knocked away. That was Kenny Austin. No, excuse me, that was C.J. Davis knocking the ball away. Austin is weaving through traffic. Loose ball is picked up by the shooters, number 7, Leighton Bailey.
Man, talk about a throwback. DJ playing the Dougie right now. How could you not be motivated? And then we got an and one.
Big
Chrisman
big
to the Dougie.
That is not a coincidence.
I can't help myself. I'm over here
that
bobbing.
timing.
That was right in flow, though. I'm not going to lie. That was good by Chrisman.
Little Cali swag district.
Hey, Chrisman showed a lot here so far in this game. He's already got a 3-pointer under his belt.
I love it.
Loose ball, fought after. Looks like we got a loose chair over there. Zach, can you pull that back?
I guess I could do that.
Make sure no one gets injured. As if the table probably wouldn't get in the way first. Good kick out. 3-pointers just off the mark.
Rebound. He rebounded that right over the top of Brody Bolin. That cannot be easy. What strength.
He whipped it out of there.
Yes.
That was Luke Graff, number 19.
Nobody caught that word play, but we'll move on. I believe that was the Whip Nene playing.
That time coming up with a loose ball. Number 8, Kenny Austin.
To the window, to the basket. He gets there.
Graft. Battling has it knocked out. Looks like possession's going to stay here with the shooters. Leighton Bailey to inbound it.
Even the refs are having a hard time fighting dancing to this music. Marcus Hill with a little grin and a little bob.
Bailey's, Graf shot. Deflected and ooh.
Taking him back to his high school days as a Wayne General. Is there going to be a second Space Jam with LeBron, or is that just rumor?
No, that's
happening. It is happening.
And Kevin Durant's going to be the Charles Barkley to Michael Jordan.
I love it.
That's the word.
What is that, the Monstars or something?
Monstars, yeah.
Three-pointers good by Leighton Bailey.
I remember going into Walmart and buying that VHS.
Oh, wow.
VHS, yeah.
Wow.
And that was the first thing I ever bought with my own money.
Oh, wow.
Bolin, nice find.
He's special.
That along with my Walkman.
That was C.J. Davis with the finish.
Oh, yours was probably a Discman. It probably wasn't a Walkman.
Yeah, it was a Discman.
Yeah, it was a Discman.
I hated it. It would always skip.
Luke Graff gets 2.
Better than our Walkmans back in the day when we had to stop it and flip the tape over.
Tell us about your time with the typewriters.
Well, back in the days of Jesus. Oh, that's deep.
Three-pointer.
Oh.
Rims in for Jadis Langston.
He had no hesitation on that. Didn't look. Just popped it.
Heitschall.
Oh, that was a good look.
Looking for the bounce pass to Bolin. Graff comes out with it. Three-pointer.
Excellent board. Oh, it gets stripped away from one Norwell man to the other. Foul on Bolin.
Heads up play.
You know, Bolin did such a good job of getting that board, and he did what you can't do. You cannot bring the ball down. You know those guards are going to rip it from you. Big fella, come on, you're better than that.
Well, I had to laugh because right after that play, he looks over to his mom. What'd I do?
Oh, and if you know his mom, she's competitive.
Hey, she was an awesome basketball player herself. Played for Coach Patterson at St. Francis.
The tradition always continues.
Brody with the outlet pass. Putback no good. That was C.J. Davis battling down there on the block.
Just keeping it alive.
Jeff, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be on this Summit City broadcast. It's nothing but a pleasure. Tim, you're always a pleasure to listen to. It's an honor to work here with you guys. I'm just having fun.
That's been fun, Zach.
We're gonna pick you up on that SAC holiday tournament. Most definitely.
I'm requesting the Homestead Southside matchup.
Well, Zach, when you do the SAC holiday tournament with Summit City Sports, you're there for all 16.
You know, you're going to have to give me a heads up because I'm not really a morning person. So if you give me an early game, it's going to be like that. What was that, the Wayne Northrop game?
So we'll do second sessions, no first sessions. No first sessions.
I'm going to probably show up in my house slippers, breakaway sweats. It's going to take me a half to wake up. If you got a coffee for me, I'll be ready.
That's Jadis Langston at the free throw line. Zach, no, it's always a pleasure. St. Francis basketball, just Fort Wayne basketball in general. Always
Coach
fun
at
to
Maplewood.
Pick your brain. Oh, and what a run your squads have had at Maplewood. Oh, C.J. Davis. Beautiful step through. That three-pointer is just a little bit long by Langston.
Oh, man, I need a little post feed to this Post Malone. Can we hit the post? It's only appropriate.
It is. I think we may get that on the other side, though. Oh, there we go.
I
Nice
love it.
jump hook.
In true honor of Posty.
I like it.
That was Grant Hayworth down the block. Skip pass. Turnover.
That was Zach Welkin. He's got to step out. Thanks again for joining us, Zach. We'll see you soon.
See you, Zach. Nice steal, takeaway for number 13 in white. Excuse me, that was number 15, Jaden Hill.
Back to a 9-point lead, 15 and a half left now.
And on the other end, number 48, another jumper for the big man, Jackson Crispin.
Yeah, they are not stopping.
Bolin now with a three-pointer and knocks it down. The big man from downtown, Brody Bolin.
And he is loving that. Little moonwalk back into the post.
Tim, we've seen so many versatile basketball players today.
There's no doubt. I mean, the list goes on. And you know what's crazy is that a lot of them are going to the same high schools, which is just going to be absolutely insane come the next couple of years.
Now with C.J. Davis, with all the athleticism in the world, just pulled up and dropped it from 17 feet. Hey, plenty of good roster spots out there, too, for these young guys to take next year to make a name for themselves.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. There's not one single varsity coach that would turn down a freshman if he was better than some of his older kids. They are going to put the best players out on the floor for their respective team. And if they don't do that, we've seen it happen in Fort Wayne. A lot of coaches get pushed out just by not playing their best talent, at least what's perceived. Whether that's good or bad, that's just the way it is.
So that was Langston Level. What a tough take there for the running back from Blackhawk Middle School. Played for a city championship. Going to head to Snyder. Sideburns, those are like the lamb chops, bud.
Yeah,
those
I don't
are
think
solid.
They're quite connected yet, but we're getting there.
Now, I got to tell you, I couldn't grow that kind of facial hair when I was in 8th grade. He's got one up on me.
I thought you were going to say now.
Yeah, pretty much. Long three-pointer.
Nice
Marion Washington. Yeah, these guys are loving it.
Yeah, they're having a lot of fun out here. Oh, nice floater. He got
JoJo Robinson.
Ooh. He got to the rim at ease that time.
Nigel Robertson, the defensive end at Northrop. He'll be a senior this year. And then was it Richard Robertson? I think he's at Purdue Northwest.
Correct. Basketball.
Another NAIA school. Fort Wayne's been kind to the NAIA schools, especially look at Travion Cruz now at Bethel,
right?
Who was All Crossroads League first team this year in his first year for the Pilots. Oh! Just missed it on. That was Wiley on the dunk attempt.
He's definitely got the hops and length to get that done. Just lost the handle as he got to the peak.
Now it's Level jump stop in the lane and finishes off board. We've seen a little bit of everything from Langston Level as well. He's got a three-pointer made.
Yeah, he is a very smart player, but his athleticism and speed puts him in advantageous positions, and now with a chance for that and one.
Yeah, not only that, he's got huge legs, maybe the biggest legs down here on the floor. You can tell he can squat maybe 3 bills.
You know who he reminds me of? As soon as you said that, I looked. It reminds me of 2 years ago in, I think it was this MVP All-Star game, and I'm going to say a name of Devin Tittman.
Oh, yeah.
Devin Tittman looked like a man out here when he was in 8th grade playing basketball. Of course, Devin Tittman was the leading rusher for the 4A state champion Bishop Dwenger Saints this past year ago, just a sophomore. Lavelle's legs and his bottom half looks exactly like Devin Tittman's did back in 8th grade.
Yeah, Devin Tittman was a man-child out there as a sophomore for the Saints. Him and TJ's brother.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's just one of those cool things about Fort Wayne, and definitely with the Tittman family. I mean, you're going to have, there's so many of them, you're going to end up playing with your cousins, but I think there was some kind of staggering number last year for Dwenger that they had like, out of their 22 starters, it was like 12 that were Tittmans or related to Tittmans. I mean, it was just a crazy stat.
Marquette Lee once again tracking it down. How pretty was his bucket last time down the floor for the Shooters? Shooters only down by 11. At least they're giving themselves a chance.
Yep.
Yeah, Tim, it'll be neat to see the little Atkinsons here in a couple years,
Yeah.
see if you can get a duo playing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But
Sure
varsity
would.
football, to have those two kids starting in the state championship game against Evansville Central, it's a great story.
Yeah, and we know that his father and a lot of their family, Tim Tittman Sr. and Tim Tittman Jr. But yeah, I mean it's a great family. Dwenger, I'm telling you what, they're absolutely loaded again for next year. Unfortunate they had to move up to 5A with success factor. So next year, our sectionals in Class 5A, we went from one team being Northside only. Now we're going to have a whole sectional in 5A in the city of Fort Wayne. Where it's going to be, who knows yet, but it'll be Dwenger, Snyder, Northside, and Northrop. And not to mention, Snyder and Northrop both share the same field. They're getting turf. Dwenger's going to be playing at home next year on campus. They have turf. So maybe the days of us worrying about who in the heck and how in the heck we're going to play on these muddy fields, maybe those days are gone.
Concordia was a mess this year. Absolutely.
Zollner Stadium, yes it was.
Langston Level, just getting it done. Like you said, Tim, he's just kind of a bully out there, just getting it done.
Nice
now
steal.
with the steal almost. Had a block last time down.
Good luck. High arcing triple, no good.
Ooh.
And that'll go out of bounds. We'll go right back to the rim wreckers.
That was Alex Leslie chasing down that rebound.
How about that low dribble?
And the steal. With the finish, number 14, Alex Leslie.
Nice little finger roll from Leslie. And we're going to have a travel on that far side. So we'll go back to the shooters, a chance to cut back into this 8-point lead. They got it down to 4-6. And then, of course, here came the rim wreckers back at it.
Yeah, the shooters, I think, have had the better second half so far in this classic. Wiley going up to get the rebound. But once again, Level, they're just causing havoc.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He is everywhere. He's ultra athletic. He's strong. He's got good size.
Leslie's three-pointer was halfway down before it rimmed out. A little floater on the block, no good by Washington.
I'm telling you what, number 9, Marion Washington, his dribble drive has not been stopped yet. And I'm talking all game.
Leslie's going to finish on the other end. Assist by number 2, Marquette Lee. He's one of those cornerbacks at Blackhawk that Zach was talking about. You can see it with his dynamic speed.
No doubt.
Monty Smith with 2.
Rim wreckers come right back and answer. Good pace over the past couple.
I'll tell you, these guys are going to want to stay on the floor instead of swap it out here in 1:11.
Oh, there's no doubt.
So to inbound it as JoJo Robinson. Lee finishes with the left. Marquette Lee pulls his squad to within 6. That was Lee with the defense.
Yeah, too much contact with the body that time. Even in the All-Star game, they're going to get that one.
Final All-Star Classic coming up next Monday.
Yes, it'll be the girls.
The girls' classic here from the Speech Fieldhouse. MVP basketball. Lee. Excuse me, three-pointer by Washington. He's fouled.
Yeah, that freshman class in the city of Fort Wayne on the girls' side. We have two of the better freshmen, well, two of the best freshmen, in my opinion, in the state of Indiana, and Ayanna Patterson and Olivia Smith. Ayanna Patterson, of course, you could probably list her as a top 5 player in the whole entire country as a freshman. She, of course, led Homestead in scoring throughout this season, or to finish this season. So that tells you a little bit about Ayanna Patterson.
MVP of the Holiday Tournament Championship game, wasn't she?
Correct, yep.
Also playing in the National 3-on-3 tournament?
She is one of those once-in-a-generational players. She does everything well. Head coach Rod Parker really starting to push her, as he did in his freshman year, down in the post, getting her more comfortable being on the block. So you'll see that more and more in her sophomore year. But Homestead, the Lady Spartans, will be right back where they belong.
Oh, most definitely. As Leslie misses on that 3, tracking down the rebound. Once again, Langston Level.
He's everywhere.
You can see why Blackhawk Middle School is so good as well in basketball.
Yeah. And he reminds me so much of Devin Tippman now that I'm watching him.
Catch and shoot. 3 is good. Langston Level.
Oh.
Washington has it knocked away from behind. Lee step back 3 out of the corner. That might have been tipped.
Yeah, the defense got out there pretty quickly.
Wiley with the putback, doesn't fall.
And one. Great effort that time. Puts it up and in, plus a foul for Wiley.
Tell you, Donnie Wiley does a really good job with his frame, and he gets the most out of his length.
Yeah, he's going to be a huge addition to the DeKalb program if that's where he ends up going under head coach Rod Cohn.
That ball was knocked away from JoJo Robertson, trying to get it back here for the shooters. Just 10 minutes left to play and a 10-point advantage for the Rim Wreckers.
Yeah, that was a tough catch. And that's going to be the halftime. Well, let's say the end of the third, we'll call it. And we'll move into the fourth.
Good to have that nice little break, though, I think, in between.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt. So we'll reset the clock to 10.
Ever since the tip, though, it's just been nonstop action here at the Spies Fieldhouse. You know, good attendance for these middle school games.
Well, hold up. A little confusion. As, yeah, the white is going that way, but it was black ball. As they're going to figure it out right now. That was a heads-up play, though, by Bassett. I mean, he went, pick up the ball, threw it in, easy bucket.
Absolutely.
Why not do that?
Bassett right now having some friendly words with number 41, Jake Goody.
So we'll redo it.
That's Jordan Schmink from Harding Middle School. Miles Good going the other way. Your 3-point champion, Miles Good. Bassett looking for number 4. Tim, that one just missed on that front rim.
Yeah, he had a hand right in his grill on that one. Just got over top.
Boy, you talk about time in the block. That was Bassett all day right there.
Now turning that right into offense.
His eyes never left somebody in the stands the whole time.
Yeah. He's having fun out there tonight. Answered. Will Lucas drains it.
Will Lucas, the Woodside Shooters. Bassett goes down low. Goody with the rebound. I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of Brooks here, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
Goody for 3. Dialing it up.
Pushes it back out.
Good's looking for his.
Can't
Just
answer.
a little long.
Here's Vaughn looking for a guard.
Nice pass back to Goody. He might have had a shot there. Schmeck's got it, just a little long. Goody playing the role of facilitator. That shot just inside the arc.
And that's going to be a foul.
Be Vaughn to the free throw line.
The lefty. Can't get it.
Well, in game number 1, not as close.
So the Rim Wreckers kept the shooters away to keep it at that 6-point lead. Now a chance to cut or to push that back out. As here's Bassett, pulls up for another 3. That one wide left. Vaughn had it knocked away, but there's his teammate.
Goody looking for it on the far wing, called with the travel. You're looking at some of the top middle school basketball players in Northeast Indiana. In game number 1, we had a few folks from Anderson on the team. And obviously some of the best players in that game were from Anderson.
Yeah. I'm telling you what, Really impressive. Eric Troutman, Alex Troutman, and of course the MVP of Dylon Fuller. Yeah, they're going to be good. They're going to be good for years to come.
Fuller was the MVP with 29 points. Now it's Schmeck at the free throw line.
Hits the first. So we only got a 5-point game here. They can cut it to a 2-possession with another make. And can't get the roll. Rebound Bassett.
Yeah, that first game was about a 30-point difference. Much closer here, and the guys are starting to smell it. Bassett straight to the cup. They're going to call that one on the floor?
I think they did.
That was Goody with the check. He'll get the foul. Inbounds pass, the catch and shoot.
That was an awkward angle he had there. It looked like he rushed it.
That was Amir Flood with the shot. Now Schmeck in the lane.
He's tough.
Little push got him just a separation for that floater.
That is no harm there. It's an outstanding move, and we got a 1-possession game here with 7 minutes left.
Yeah, when you're driving at that speed, Tim, the contact goes. Brashawn Bassett, bucket falls.
You don't think he's going to get there, and then boom, he's at the cup.
He's fast.
Oh, he's so good.
For as big as he is.
Yes. Set shot 3 ball, got it. Big shot, and the answer from number 5, Darion. What was that? Was that number 5?
Yeah, Darion Woods.
Oh, Darion Woods, sorry, yes.
Bassett just misses on the 3, Vaughn with the board. Schmeck.
Oh, could have taken the lead.
Boy, Goody felt that pressure, went for the reverse. Yep. Bassett the lead down low. Wide open for 3. Just left short by number 14, Delman Alexander.
Nice rebound by Bassett, and then the pump fake got Vaughn in the air, and that led now to some free throws.
Yeah, but you're 100%. Even though these guys didn't play in that first game, majority of them have been here since 4:30. Warm-ups for the three-point contest, the skills competition, because the guys are pretty live to start that game 1.
There's no doubt about that.
Second one good for Bassett. It's really looking like if the Rim Wreckers win, it's going to be Brashawn Bassett as your MVP.
Oh, good steal. Outstanding hands that time by number 22, Amir Flood. And then Bassett gets to the cup.
Rim Wreckers
special athlete.
Keeping that 5 to 7 point cushion. Goody on the other end. Bassett rips it away. Look at that, Tim. Coast to coast, just effortless. Wow.
Back there just like that. It was a 2-point game. Now we're right back up to an 8-point game just in a matter of seconds.
Bassett, he just simply gets up the floor faster than others. Another three-pointer. Darion Woods. Did I get that wrong? Was that Will Lucas?
Didn't see it, Jeff. I'm sorry.
Bassett once again looking for the one-on-one. He's missed his last 3 three-point attempts after making 3 in a row in the first half. Miles good now for 3. That one was halfway down, popped out. Putback is good by Jamarcus Crawford. So the final period, and we're going to get to see Darion Brooks saving his best for last. Yeah, these coaches want the win too, Tim.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Bassett's still out there, Brooks out there.
Yeah, as soon as I saw, and look who's guarding Brooks. Bassett and Brooks, they're going one-on-one right here, and they were already talking.
Colbert, McBride on the floor from Norwell, Miles good.
Oh, the blow-by. Little scoop shot, can't get it to go, but he's going to go to the line. Outstanding move on that first step from Bronte Johnson.
Johnson, who took part in the three-point competition. So Johnson now at the free throw line. His first one will rim in. Tim obviously posting all these highlights. Do you have a favorite play so far from today?
There's been so many. I really don't know.
There has been a lot.
Yeah, I mean, probably getting out on the break for a dunk is always cool when you see it from an 8th grader. But yeah, I mean, it's been very outstandingly played. And are you kidding me?
One-on-one Bassett.
Rashawn Bassett.
Holy cow. On the other end, nearly the same thing there from number 17, Keon Bates.
Bassett trying to seal in this win.
You know, and to start this final 5 minutes, Bassett got right in the ear of Brooks saying it's going to be me and you one-on-one.
Yep.
Leading their teams. Pass goes to Leaper on the far wing. Good back to Bassett. Three-pointer. Jimmy's missed his last 4. McBride tracks down the long rebound. Colbert strong on the three-point attempt. Schmeck with the rebound.
Oh, tough catch by Johnson. Got caught underneath the bucket, though.
Bassett looked for the pocket, found it. Off the heel, Leaper with the rebound.
He's been really good, Leaper. Nice work down low.
Playing well on the block.
There's just one foul shot coming.
And a 9-point lead here for the Rim Wreckers. It's Darion Brooks bringing it up for the shooters. Picked up by Bassett right away. He'll step back for the three-pointer. Just strong. Rebounded by McBride. McBride and Colbert played together at Norwell Middle School. Approaching 3 minutes left here in game number 2. Bassett drives to the cup, and he's going to be fouled. Looks like that was Johnson. Yeah, you're hearing all the names of where these kids are going to go, all the schools.
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't heard Northside mentioned. And boy, do they have some spots to fill.
There is no doubt about it. Very young team. But yeah, they have a lot of talent. It's going to take Coach Andrews a minute to get that back up and going.
Second one good for Bassett.
So both games reaching the century mark at 100.
Only a 10-point lead here for the Rim Wreckers. I feel like since the last substitution, they've been owning it.
Yeah. Jump ball. So we're going to jump it up here.
But obviously Norwell this year having a good season. One of the best players in the area in Will Geiger.
Yeah.
I know on Summit City Sports, boy, a lot of people were not happy Sidney Curry left off the all-Northeast Indiana team.
Yeah, I was.
I think it was more of a mistake.
Yeah, I don't.
Couldn't have been intentional.
To me, there's just no excuse. I don't care if it's a mistake or not. I mean, it's the best player in the city of Fort Wayne, the second biggest city in the state of Indiana, and you don't have him, nor Frankie Davidson for that matter.
Yeah.
But then went with Ali, who's a great player, no doubt about it, at East Noble. But the numbers don't match up to what Sidney Curry did and Frankie Davidson.
Where's Ali going? Was it a MAC school like Toledo?
Toledo, yeah. I believe he is Toledo. And you got Sidney Curry. He'll be heading to Miami of Ohio. So both of them be in the MAC.
Bassett, another three-point miss. His team's still up by 10. Johnson looking to feed Brooks down low.
Bassett went for the steal. Is going to get caught with a foul.
We're going to have a timeout here, Tim. Taken by the Y squad. This is starting to get serious here. 2:15 remaining. Still, though, a 10-point advantage for the Rim Wreckers.
runners are running. Play coming home.
From the crucial plays to the highlight of the game to the victory celebration, we are there. Summit City Sports isn't just a business. It's a group of companies investing in the youth of Fort Wayne athletics.
It's because of Parkview Sports Medicine, because of Kelly Automotive Group, Indiana Wesleyan University, the University of St. Francis, and Big Eye Fish, that we can produce our broadcast viewed by hundreds of thousands in Northeast Indiana.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
2:15 remaining. 100-90, your score. Miles Good going to be called with a reach-in.
Little touch foul down there.
At any moment here, Miles is going to rattle off 3 threes in a row. Winning the three-point competition was Miles Good. That three-pointer just off the front of the rim, rebounded by Johnson. So Bassett had 19 points. Good beat him with 20 points, hitting that money ball for 5. So at the free throw line here is number 21, Johnson.
Bronte Johnson hits his first.
Second as well. Pull the squad to within 8. Bassett being double teamed now. Brooks looking for the steal. So it seems like we're going to see a lot of that here, Tim, the last 150, but the clock is still running. Good, now trapped in the corner. Gets it over to McBride. Good long pass to Colbert. Rashawn Bassett, fade away, off glass is good. That should just about seal it here. 11 points, 1:30 remaining. The shooters have got to go on a run. So Bates, Keon Bates with the bucket down low. Bassett to Colbert. Can't finish off glass. Now Schmeck has an opportunity here with the shooters. Brooks has Johnson, takes it himself. Rims out, but possession will stay there with the shooters.
Yeah, just a bit hard.
Off glass. Back-to-back buckets for Keon Bates. His team only down by 7 now, 102-95.
Running out of time here. Here's Leaper.
Good job by Bates, but he'll be called with the reach-in. All the teammates are saying shoot it there for Leaper. Say, Leaper, you got to shoot that. Bassett's going to be fouled by Johnson here with 28.9 seconds remaining. Well, Tim, do you have an MVP so far in this game? It's looking like the rim wrecker's probably going to take it.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be Rashawn Bassett. He's done a little bit of everything. His outside shot went a little bit cold over here over the past, several minutes. But the kid has done everything. He is a special, special player. But yeah, just watching both of these games here tonight, so excited about the continued progression of the basketball players here in the city of Fort Wayne and the surrounding area. It's been an outstanding night here.
So Bassett's pass intended for Leaper, stolen. The outlet goes over to Brooks, knocks down the triple.
Brooks with the home run ball.
That's a big one right there for Darion.
7 seconds left. Probably not enough time. Down 4 your 2 possessions.
Still a nice way to end it there on a high note for Brooks, hitting the 3. More stuff coming from MVP Basketball, partnership with Junior NBA and USA Basketball. There's going to be some events hosted here in Fort Wayne. We're going to try to get you live coverage for. .400 broadcasts this year, Tim. I'd say 200, about 220, 230, all basketball.
Yeah, it has been a great year in the 2018-19 season. We've been all over the place. Both boys and girls started there late November, or early December, and just going straight through nonstop all the way through the girls' playoffs and then the boys' playoffs. Unfortunately, for the girls, it didn't get as far as we wanted, but big shout out and congratulations to the Blackhawk Christian Braves on their 1A state title win.
Bassett gets fouled right away by Good. Now it's going to be inbound by McBride. But yeah, it's all but done here as the rim wrecker is going to take it up 102-98 right now. Yeah, it seems like yesterday getting that Homestead Carmel game was like one of the first games of the season.
Yeah.
Homestead just putting a hurting on the Greyhounds.
Yeah, good. Unfortunately for Carmel, nobody's going to feel sorry for them. We know that. But they lost a player in Amy Delk from 2 years ago. She was their point guard, do everything for Carmel. She was awesome. And unfortunately for them, she graduated a year ago.
So Keon Bates shot just off the mark. And that is a final here from the Spies Fieldhouse, 104-98. We're going to stay on the horn here for a second and get you the MVP here of the MVP Basketball Middle School All-Star Classic. Once again, in game number 1, it was Dylan Fuller, 29 points. And that was for the Jammers as they won it. Jammers just had way too much of a presence down low. Gage Septon was getting it done for them. Ethan Roy, Preston Ross, Cam Quinlan. They had all kinds of bigs on that team. Victor Hoya, another Blackhawk player, and just put a hurting to the shooters there in game number 1. Here in game number 2, it was the Rim Wreckers pretty much holding the lead. Excuse me, it was the Slammers in game 1. Rim Wreckers pretty much holding the lead all the way through, but a tight game, and it is Brashawn Bassett getting the MVP from Memorial Park.
And what a game he did have, getting to the cup at will, hit his first 3 trays, went cold from beyond the arc, but never stopped defensively and going to the bucket, and that's one of the reasons he's an MVP.
Great combination of athleticism and size. Bassett's going to fill into his body, Tim. He's going to be like a junior Larry Johnson.
Yeah, he's got a very nice frame already, and I think it'll only continue to gain. I'm going to go try to grab him here, Jeff.
Absolutely. That's Tim Atkinson heading out for Brashawn Bassett. Once again, the final here, 104-98. We got one more of the MVP basketball series coming up next Monday. It'll be the girls All-Star game here at the Spies Fieldhouse. Once again, the top young ladies from the area to compete. Brashawn Bassett, once again, playing middle school ball at Memorial. They took on St. Paul's to start this whole thing here. And we're going to get him on the headset, your MVP of the Classic here in game number 2. And as Tim said, Brashawn, congratulations getting the MVP here in game number 2. You join a list of a lot of great basketball players. But
can I hear you on here?
Yeah. Oh, you got us?
Can you hear him? Okay.
Yeah. So once again, congratulations on getting the MVP. What worked for you out there today?
I just came in hitting shots. It was really fun.
The excitement of an all-star game, playing with all the people, you're playing AAU ball with, out in the park with, all you guys growing up in this area. Was there some excitement about today's game?
Yeah, it really was. I mean, I've been playing with these guys since I was little. Like me and Darion Brooks, we started off together. We were about 5, 6 years old starting off. So it was really fun going against them. Yeah. And my little brother, Brayante Johnson, he was on the other team.
Yeah, exactly. What a dynamic duo you two were in middle school. That was fun to watch.
Right.
Your game, you came out, you hit a couple of your first open jump shots from deep.
Yeah.
Then your jump shot kind of waned a little bit. Maybe it came from fatigue with all the other stuff that you were doing defensively and getting to the cup. It seemed like you were getting to the cup. Once that shot wasn't working as much, you were getting to the cup at ease.
Right, because they was watching the shot because I've been hitting. So you got to play them a certain way so they can, get what you want.
Yeah. That's a high IQ basketball right there. Jeff mentioned it a little bit. You know these guys quite a bit. I saw when Darion got checked back in, you went right to him. You was the only one that was going to guard him there.
Right, yeah, because he's really, he's one of the best players on the floor, and he was, one of the best players on their team. So, if you stop the best player on the other team, hey, the game not going to go how they think it will.
Yeah, that's outstanding stuff. Take us back to your middle school year here in your 8th grade. What are you taking out of your years there?
I mean, it was just a great year. My coach, he pushed us. He just told us to work hard every day. I mean, our coach, he has some good players like James Blackman and all them guys. Yeah, he's really a good coach. He pushed us this year, and we just worked together, and we won it. Last year, we was runner-up, and we had basically the same team.
We're not going to put you on the spot, ask you where you're going to high school or anything like that next year, but I am looking forward to it personally. Wherever you go, Summit City Sports will be there, and we'll be trying to showcase you as much. You do your part, we'll do our part, right, and we'll go to that next step.
Yeah, thanks.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Great game there, Bashan. Bashan Bassett Memorial Park. Once again, that's going to wrap it up here for the MVP Classic. 2 great MVPs, 2 great games, just a lot of exciting basketball played here, Tim.
Yeah, what else can you ask for? Mitch Sturm, Joe Jordan from the Boys and Girls Club. They partnered up and they've brought this outstanding environment to our youth here in the city of Fort Wayne and bringing it from around the area. As we mentioned, some from Anderson, DeKalb, Leo and that. So, Mitch Sturm, he just does an outstanding job, and we appreciate everything he does.
That's 100% MVP basketball, Mitch Sturm. My name's Jeff Mahoney. We had Ryan Stillbauer on camera, and that was Tim Atkinson. Been listening to him all year long. So until next season, or football season coming up here before we know it, still getting a little track and field and baseball coverage for you. There's really not the money for it, but we're doing what we can. Good job, Brody. So once again, an outstanding day here at the Spies Fieldhouse. Big shout out to Joe Jordan, Mitch Sturm, Boys and Girls Club. I'm Jeff Mahoney, Tim Atkinson. We're out. Have a great rest of the week, folks.
When you experience a sports injury, muscle, or joint pain, you want treatment right away. Parkview Ortho Express provides same-day orthopedic and sports injury care without referral or appointment, offering diagnostics, x-rays, the region's only body composition DEXA scan right inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Walk in Monday through Thursday, 7 to 7, Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. For more information, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com/orthoexpress.
It's the Comets.
Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
This is the first time I've been able to do this kind of more complete understanding or view of your body. One of the things that's really important about this is that it's kind of legitimizing us as athletes.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.